All right, people, big up to all of you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join me this morning for another edition of the Blue Morning Show, specifically another Chelsea transfer watch where we'll talk about Tyler Adams, Dusan Vlahovic, Romeo Lavia, Moises Caicedo, and Kepa Arrizabalaga. Yep, while not so much has been happening with regards to Chelsea Football Club's transfer activities, but that have changed quite a lot. Lots are happening right now. But without wasting much of your time, sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yep, people, thank you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. It looks like we'll have an issue today with the streaming software. It's frozen. I just cannot. I'm not sure when anything went off or when anything is on, but I think we can manage it through that. And if we get a panelist, any panelists to join me here, I'll switch to another system maybe. But more importantly, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. This cannot stop us from streaming this morning. Looks like we already have some people in the chat here. Let me say hello to all of them. But it's still a bit problematic. Hopefully that will not last too long. Let me see here. This window here. Yeah, let's see. Let's start with this one. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Shagun Polycarp, nice to see you, Shagun. I hope you're doing well. If this is your first time here, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. And so we're going to sign Tyler Adams, Caicedo, and Lavia. It looks like that's going to be the case. That is, if Liverpool did not counter our bid for Romeo Lavia and take it there. But I don't really, but I get it. Tyler Adams will be a business signing, in my opinion. But that's, by the way, this here says you got the old intro back. Thank you. Still have to tell me the name. Okay, I'll find out. I saved it with we're starting soon, so I can't quite recall what the name is. The Tyler Adams, the time has come again. Once more, I can't scream today. And the rumors have turned into reality. The transfer of Harry Kane to Bayern Munich is now official. Tottenham fans are left to mourn as their star player departs. It has to happen one day or the other, as long as they've not been winning anything, unfortunately. And what is we have here? They said, so we're willing to pay 90 million plus for an incompletely useless bomb like Caicedo. Wow. We're not into name calling. I'm going to start skipping your comments if that's all you do all the time. 30 million plus Lukaku is too much for Vlahovic. I am furious. For reasons the club knows, maybe the manager doesn't want Romeo Lukaku, and that's how I see it. And there you go. Big up to you too, Jackson FC, aka Briani Yahayu, aka 343 Dalama, aka Vivel FC, and now Jackson FC. Nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Yep, Tyler Adams is one of us now, and he's a good player. Beyond the fact that the signing, you can say part of it is because he is the key of the window to the U.S. market, if you prefer. Smash the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes to go along. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. And for those of you that are watching, but for some reason you're not able to participate in the chat, just remember we appreciate you. You watching alone does provide great value to the community. But if you can do us one tiny beauty favor, take a second, drop a like in the chat. We'd really appreciate that. And thank you so much. My screen is so slow this morning. don't know if it's updating behind the ground. I don't know. Yes, Bobby says to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Bobby, thank you so much for finding the time to join this morning. I hope you're doing well. And big up to you too, Relaxation Nation. Always nice to see you. And do let me know if you have a channel, Relaxation Nation. And this says, Coach, can you hype up Tyler Adams lifting into Poch's fitting into Poch's system? He's a traditional DM, so he will fit in so many ways. Even if we decide to go with a 4-3-3 approach, I think he's capable of fulfilling that role. But I cannot talk too much this time after a dental surgery. Let's see what else we have here. Hi, Rain. Rain, I appreciate you joining. I cannot hype you up as I do. Smash the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. What does that one say? Give me 1 second here. Yeah, just a second. But my screen is problematic this morning. What happens to Ugochukwu? Ugochukwu is as old as Lavia and has more. It's the same. You can say the measure in terms of their respective their experience. But it all comes down to so many factors. One being Tyler Adams is more. You can say I know he's good, but he's more of a business signing that he's been signed for his abilities on the pitch. That one. So I think those two things is good. You have to count that too. So I don't know how else to approach present that argument for it to differ to something that already comes to mind when you think of about the signing of Tyler Adams. I'm so happy, bro. We have 3 new midfielders coming in. That makes a whole lot of difference. Tyler Adams, Romeo Lavia, if we get that one over the line, and then Moises Caicedo himself. I think it's undeniable that Poch likes Vlahovic, even though it's not happening, because they wouldn't be negotiating for Vlahovic if they didn't like Vlahovic. Let me put it this way. How about if I argue that they've been reluctant, you can say, to go through with the deal because the manager he isn't too sure about Dusan Vlahovic. After all, we've been hearing that you can say contradicting. We've been seeing contradicting reports out there. One was at first saying one of them was some of them were saying that that Mauricio Pochettino really wants Dusan Vlahovic, and he's pushing the club to sign him and all that. And at one point, we started hearing that he doesn't want Dusan Vlahovic. Is not too sure of the player. It's not his sort of player. So it just doesn't make sense. But I ended by saying, in my opinion, whatever player was signed today is the player that the manager wants. I don't know how to present that argument, but the truth remains, I don't see us going for any player if the manager doesn't want the player. It's as simple as that. But I get it. It's there are lots of rumors out there, and it's easy, you say, to sink in them. If my thoughts is right about Adam playing 8, what about Chukwuemeka, Enzo, Conor Gallagher? Because those can play 8 too. I don't think Tyler Adams will play 8 for us. We have too many. We have other players who are more suited, would be more suitable for that role, not Tyler Adams. I think clearly we've signed Tyler Adams as a DM, and that's what it's going to be. This season's lineup in midfield is 4-3-3. I think we'll be able to mix it up since we signing more players and more will still coming. With 3 midfielders in our lineup, yeah, I think I don't think it'll be strictly 4-3-3. I think we'll be able to play 4-2-3-1, which is Mauricio Pochettino's preferred you can say structure. Fabrizio De Mazio and other reliable sources said Chelsea had a problem with valuation, which is crazy because we are going to pay 100 million for Caicedo. I think you just cherry picking. You're just picking the part of the report that you like and leaving the others. Here's the thing: as I see it, I heard we also did see a report that said something to the effect of the club that Chelsea going for Vlahovic all comes down to what Mauricio Pochettino wants to do. So if in fact we're saying we don't need, that the valuation is too much, then it simply means that Mauricio Pochettino don't want him. Because if he really wants a Vlahovic, I think would pay whatever it takes to get him, get the deal over the line. But that's just my opinion anyway. This says hello everyone, hello to you too. I hope we will sign Caicedo as soon as possibly sounding like we're going to get the deal over the line. Right now, I can't see my presentation screen, and I'm trying to sort of that so that I'll be able to start, so that we can start addressing the items we have lined up one by one. Okay, Brighton. There are some rumors out there saying that Liverpool that they've come with Caicedo with a huge offer that we cannot measure. It turns out it's absolute nonsense. Liverpool themselves have come out to say no, they didn't bid for Caicedo. So let's see what else we have here. Hello to you too. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time joining the show. And this here says the Caicedo deal was a done deal since last week. Big up to you too. A lot of people mentioned earlier. Big up to the Ecuadorian journalists who exposed them. They went as far as saying what Independiente would do with the 20% cut from the 90 million they quoted is also correct. Okay, let's see. It hasn't happened yet, so I'm still a bit skeptical with the reports out there because lots of conflicting reports there. Moises Caicedo still wants the Chelsea move. Lots of reports are popping up here and there, but I'm having a bit of an issue with my presentation screen, so I can't share all of them. Had we have agreed a summer breakthrough due to Caicedo deal, 90 million then add-ons. I haven't seen anything to that effect, but thank you for presenting it there. I appreciate you doing that. Has Chelsea signed Tyler Adams? Yep, the reports say, yeah, it's a here we go, which means we've gotten that particular deal over the line. And you can see how quickly we move when we identify a target and we really want that target. To me, that shows we never wanted Dusan Vlahovic, if in fact the deal is off at this point. But again, I'm gonna I have to say this disclaimer. That is just my opinion. For given everything I've seen out there, I saw all reports. Poch himself said they want a striker and no one else is there. And the reports said Poch like Vlahovic. Reports say nothing to confirm that that's the case. It's all rumors at this point, so you don't dwell on that too much. That's the advice I have for you. He says, I've read that one too. Is coach even confident as of today about Caicedo signing? I've always said, again, that I'm quite confident that we'll get that deal over the line. I've never been concerned. If I see reasons to be concerned, I'll be rest assured I'll say it without without reservations. Yeah, that I think that we're not going to get the deal over the line. But I've always said we will get the deal over the line, and that how much we end up paying depends on how much we want Moises Caicedo or how much we need Moises Caicedo. But once again, that is just my opinion. And Joey Z is back again. He says, please consider liking and subscribe. Only 3 days are remaining until the Chelsea versus Liverpool match. Let's aim to increase the excitement by the second. Yeah, let's do that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join. This morning, I'm trying to sort out the issue I'm having with this that screen there. It will make it easier for me to operate. Liverpool submitted offer, but Caicedo don't want to join Liverpool because we hijacked the deal for Lavia. No, I don't think so. I think that's not the truth because subsequent reports are saying that Liverpool did not submit any bid for Moises Caicedo, and Liverpool themselves have come out to say no, they didn't do that. I think just people are making the most of the situation because usually it makes sense that a Chelsea fan will see reports that Liverpool had put in a bid for Moises Caicedo. People will jump on that. They will take it and run with it, and that's because fearing that they think it's believable to think that Liverpool would do that as a way to get back at Chelsea for trying to hijack the Lavia deal. But that is just my opinion once again. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. Big up, coach. And my bro, Vanna Iswara Loganada. Nice to see you, brother. Big up, coach. Crazy pre-match. We are having believable. Yeah. I have to say that's the delicious comment of the day. Crazy or pre-match indeed. Yep. And Tyler Adams, what a bargain. I would say it's a bargain. Yep. At the same time, a risk because he's still injured. Maybe his injury is not that serious. I really like him, and I think he would do amazing for us. Caicedo next. Yep. We are, I think, quickly solving the problems we've been having for a while now. We've had for a while. Big up to you too, Prince Mohaz. Coachila, Chelsea versus Liverpool is going to be late both on the pitch and off the pitch. Yeah, the pre-match, like Iswara did say there, the pre-match is awesome, very enjoyable. And this says that Fabrizio and others said Chelsea beat 20 million plus Lukaku and Juventus. I said, no, I would never cherry pick, brother. If they didn't want Vlahovic, I'd admit it, and hard as it be. Here's the thing. We have to, again, remember, even Fabrizio did say that Chelsea and the manager, Mauricio Pochettino, will take our time to look at whether we really do want Dusan Vlahovic. And it looks like if we've pulled out, it means we don't want him. You could argue the only reason why we started showing interest was because it seemed as if that was the only way we'd be able to get rid of Lukaku. That's how I see it. And for those the panelists waiting, just give me a few minutes. I'll be able to share the link with you guys. I'm having an issue with the system in my front, so I'll sort that out in a bit. Just give me 1 second. Let me try and do that as quickly as possible. So if I have a panelist join me, I'd have the time to reboot that system. Usually I go through the process of rebooting the system before the show starts, and I didn't do that. Maybe that may well be the reason why I'm struggling. So don't see that as if I'm insulting you, shutting you down, or coming at you. No, we're just having a conversation here. But you see it differently, and I see it differently, and that's normal, and that's why we have a show here to have a conversation. This says Moises Caicedo, a love story. You could argue that. Nikki Tawari, it's a love story indeed, honestly. The next one says, I'm trying, again, I have an issue with my system here, but I'll sort it out in a bit. Let's give me 1 more second here. A few seconds, so to speak. So if I have a panelist join me here, I can go ahead and reboot that particular system, and that'll be all right there. But this one is a bit slow, but it's helpful at the same time. What else do we have? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Can another beat Chelsea give to Southampton? I'm not sure if we're going to up our bid because Liverpool had a 45 million pounds offer rejected, so which means we're paying more than them already. Just give me a second here. Right. One second, I'll be right back with you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, as you wait for me. I'm just trying to share the link with the panelists, and I can't do it with the main system until I fix that. There you go. Let's see what else we have here. I'll keep addressing it until that system. Lots of problems there. I'm not sure if that you'll be fine in a bit, but I'll try it out. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the stream. Let's get it going here. This says, hello, Coach. Sky Sports are reporting that Liverpool FC has made a contact for Brighton over midfielder Moises Caicedo. Any chance of sending the links? Please, I've done that already. I'd like you to comment so that I can sort out the issue I'm experiencing right now. It will be difficult to sort it out without having any of the panelists on. But I don't think that's the truth. Lots of journalists out there have already debunked that. And I'm hearing the Liverpool also have said, Liverpool also themselves are saying they're not interested in signing Moises Caicedo, and because Caicedo himself, his priority is to join Chelsea Football Club. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. People, the likes do go a long way. I'm really struggling with this. The system isn't helping. But Roger, welcome to the panel. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Maybe I can get you to start talking then. I will try and sort out this issue I'm having with the system. But Roger, big up to you. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm alive. How are you, sir? Hello? Can you hear me, Coach?
Roger, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Okay, let me try this. It looks like I have an issue with my audio too. Just go ahead. Go ahead with what you're saying. I think it's my end.
Yeah. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, chat, and everyone else. It's going to be an interesting 72 hours upcoming, that is. I was really surprised when news broke about Chelsea going in for Lavia. I was a bit perplexed why we didn't actually. I can hear echo, Coach.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll mute myself. Go ahead.
Right. So basically, I was surprised that they put in a bid for 48 million and not the 50. Why 2 million short? I believe Chelsea can afford the 2 million. Is that just a posturing, shall we say, protocol by them, or they realize that they don't want to hit the 50? I have no idea, because if they're willing to, I understand these are two different players, but if they're willing to actually go ahead and put in a bid for 80 plus million plus incentives to Brighton, why not spend an extra 2 million to secure Lavia? So I'm a bit. It's just that 2 million. If they put in a bid for 45, then I can see it. But why 48? Why come up short by 2 million? That's nothing in today's market, which is sad to say. So I'm a bit perplexed by that. Having said that, does this mean if we do get Adams and we do get Lavia, are we really also going to get Caicedo? Are we really going to land 3 players with only 1 game a week plus domestic cups? And now I understand we need depth, especially because of injuries. I get that, but that seems. I wouldn't be surprised if indeed we only got Adams and Lavia. I can't see us getting 3 midfielders, right? Unless we sell Gallagher, unless we have him on the hook for West Ham or anyone else. Um, you know, I'm not sure. I'm sure he will go for sure if that's the case. Especially if we buy 3. I mean, if we buy 2, he's probably gone because it's going to hard to maintain. I beg your pardon. A small squad that will put us way over 25. So it'll be interesting. It's interesting waters we're sailing in right now. And it's good news about Tottenham losing Kane. That's great news for Chelsea, especially considering we're not in Europe. I don't know. Do you think we will actually go for all 3 players? I'm somewhat skeptical about this. I really am.
What was the question you asked again?
Do you think we will go and purchase all 3 players?
Hold on, Roger. Just go ahead. I'm just talking to sort out this then. Just go ahead a few minutes, like 3 minutes. I'll be back with you.
No problem, Coach. No problem. So those are my concerns. Would I be happy with Lavia and Adams? Yeah, I would be actually. I really would. He's very young, but age shouldn't be that much of a factor if you're good enough to play. Just like Caicedo. Caicedo's what, 21? So he's not exactly in his prime either. I would prefer Caicedo personally, but I would have no complaints if we did indeed. Now I know Adams is injured, so I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. Probably a month or so. I have no idea. But if indeed we do only land Lavia and Adams, I still think this puts us in a very strong position. Would I prefer Caicedo? Undoubtedly so. Listen, Adams for 20 million, that's bargain basement prices. That's Christmas sale prices. So by today's standards. So it makes common sense making that deal for him. It is truly a deal. You cannot pass up that kind of talent, that kind of player with his leadership skills and his tenaciousness and his productivity. I think that would be how shall I put this? that would be irresponsible of Chelsea to pass up a player like this. I really do believe that. I know the World Cup's a different format, but he's shown and he's proven to be a very capable Premier League player, and I think he can only get better. So that's where I stand on that. Question is, do we get all 3? If we get all 3 and we're able to offload, let's say, Gallagher at the very least, then that's awesome. Even though I like Gallagher and we may need him for more attacking purposes, but especially considering Nkunku is down, I don't know. I don't have a problem. I really don't. But all 3 seems too. I don't know. It seems too far fetched. It seems too good to be true to be splashing out approximately 160 to 170 million pounds on 3 players for the same position. primarily. I don't see that transpiring. I really don't. So, as I said, why offer 48 million instead of 50 at this juncture? What, knowing that Liverpool may indeed go ahead and say, you know what, we'll bump up to 50. You know what? Why, if you really want to sign him, you would have signed him with 50. I just don't understand that 48 million offer. That's why I'm truly perplexed. So I don't know. Looks like Coach, I lost you. I'm not sure who else is on the panel that's muted. So listen, it's going to be interesting. It really is. I'm going to read some comments by the looks of it, just to see where we're going. Let's have a look. I'm probably hey, Mitchy boy's in the house. Hello, Mitchy boy. How are you, sir? Let's have a look there. Courtney. Okay, Courtney's just speaking to someone else. And Raphael, I can join your panel today. Yeah. Yeah, please. If Coach welcomes you, be awesome. And Ukru says up to Chelsea. Constantine Dante, hello. How are you, sir? Nightbot, hello, sexy. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what everyone thinks about these three midfield players. Do we go after all of them? Is it plausible? Is it possible? I don't know. Raphael says, I hope Liverpool get Lavia and Caicedo. I want Ukachukwu to play. Really? No, Raphael, really? That strengthens one of our biggest rivals. And listen, I get Ukachukwu. He's going to be, I think, a very good player. I concur with you on that. But to say you want Liverpool to get Lavia and Caicedo, wow. Yes, Constantine, I'm back for my loan. That's pretty funny. Prince Maris says, no Fabrizio Dagger or Ornstein Dodger. Yeah. So, Ukus, Roger, we will hit the 50 million because of add-ons. Yeah, I actually heard it was 48 million including add-ons, but I know what you're saying. I totally understand. And it's really hard to pronounce Oladipu Mizolf. Sorry for probably mispronouncing your name. But he's stating that Brighton got 90 million bid and no comment yet. They are pretending like a village girl who got marriage proposals from a city guy and taking time to say yes when she's in love already. that's quite an analogy there. That really is. So okay, that's pretty funny. Yeah, and so Courtney is saying we need the players to see Chelsea injuries over the last 3 seasons. Yeah, we need the players. No, I get that. We have been hit and with the injury bug. In fact, we've been depleted. Let's be honest here, Courtney. We really have been. I get it. Depth is of the utmost importance. So I totally concur. But considering we only got 1 game a week plus domestics to purchase 3, now I get 2.5 because 1 is just such a remarkably inexpensive deal. It's a bargain by today's standards. So I get it what you're saying. And then Varner is saying Eden Alvarez to West Ham is a here we go. Yeah, it's actually, I was hoping we may get him. I actually like him, even though he's a different kind of player. I get it. Is that you, Coach? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm going to be using the control deck until I fix the system in front of me. Apologies to people out there who's anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just reading the comments, sir. I'm not able to highlight them. I'm just reading them. So, do you want to do what you're doing, or do you want to take over, sir?
No, go ahead. I'll let you know when I'm ready to come in. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Then I'll come in later. I'll start from this one from JC here. Then I'll follow it up whenever I come in. Go ahead.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Okay, I'm reading Glenn 10. Hello, Glenn. How are you, sir? It says Chelsea versus Liverpool, battle of the DMs off the pitch. No DMs on the pitch. Big up, Coach Roger and chat. It's a pleasure as always, Glenn. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Uku is saying, here just only for Chelsea. Please no post and other club news. Well, yeah, I get it. But it's quite interesting what's transpiring around the league right now, especially with the advent of Kane in all likelihood leaving Tottenham. So I think it's beneficial to Chelsea in some regards. Let's have a look here. And Glenn is saying hello to everyone. JC, big up Coachila. There is an inside information that Lavia to Liverpool is almost done and dusted. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, but they did seal the deal, so we had an opportunity and we swapped him. He was rejected. They've agreed personal terms with him, and I'm hearing that even Lavia himself isn't happy how slowly they're moving. They're pushing as if they weren't serious. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Coach, because I'm a bit perplexed why they're taking so long, because they've actually sold what 2 or 3 players, and so they have the funds. So unless they are in talks with other players and maybe they're spread a bit thin, but they have taken their time. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Coach. I really do. Let's have a look here. And then Uko is saying Adams is injured. Yes, he is, and I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. I'm really not. Okay. So let's have a look here. And JC says we have Caicedo being chased by Bayern, CFC, and Liverpool. Yeah, these. Yeah, I don't know. Coach is a little bit dubious about Liverpool's true intentions, about their credibility in going after Caicedo. But Sky News has reported that they're in talks. That's all they mentioned, that they've contacted them. No firm offer has been made. But let's see. Jerry C says, as per Sky's information, Liverpool is engaged in discussion with Brighton regarding the potential signing of Caicedo. Yeah, exactly. That's what I read also. But let's see. It could be just posturing. It could be It'd be funny if we actually play at Stamford Bridge. They unveil Caicedo, we unveil Lavia. That would be pretty funny. But
yeah, Roger, can you still hear me?
No.
Yeah, apologies to everyone. That's a technology for you. Struggle. I'm not sure why. Maybe because I forgot to reboot the system as I usually do. Customary a thing I do every time before we go online. I use it for all the reasons like coding and all that. But I think we're good right now. I don't know, where did you stop? I'm just going to go to the very bottom. And apologies.
Sure.
Let's see. Let's go from here. Let's go. I want to see somebody fighting you. That's what I'm looking for there. It says, I am also confused about Adams. Are we going to sign three of them? But that will be fantastic. But I think we need to sell some players. If we sign 3 of them, what do you think? If we sign the 3 of them, most definitely 3 will make way, or maybe at least 2 will make way.
Yeah.
Chances are the 3 that will make way will all not be midfielders. But it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Big up to you too, the beautiful game. I'm not into hyping today because I had a dental surgery and it's still having pain. Big up, Roger. This whole story came straight up from Matt Fraud, lawless backside. The Roadrunner has made his last sprint for Chelsea. Hopefully, okay, you just want him gone. That's just your argument right there. Glenn, always nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Constantine Dante, I see you there, Coach. That's the picture you use when you are playing the game, Imposer. Oh, okay. Let's say Adams is great, that solid, and he can hold his own. He's really good. But 2 things more for me, you can argue more importantly, is the key or the window for whatever language you prefer to the US market is the new Captain America. And so it makes sense in so many ways for the new owners. A big up to you to Chelsea all the way. I hope you're doing well. And Chelsea Dan, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join this morning. Adams will also be great at commercial wise. Yeah, that was the language I was looking for. But of course, you have to do. Dante has to do a tapping on me. Is Tyler Adams injured? I think he's not maybe a slight injury because if he's seriously injured, I don't think he can be transferred. I'm not sure how. Again, as for Sky's information, Liverpool is engaged in discussion with Brighton regarding the potential signing of Caicedo, but Caicedo wants to come to Chelsea. And I'm seeing reports here saying that, Liverpool are interested in signing Moises Caicedo. This move is being considered as a backup in case the deal with Southampton for Lavia does not come to fruition by tomorrow, which means he's not going to go to them. It's being considered as a backup. But for us, he is a priority. He will be a priority. He's a priority for us, so to speak. So A lot of difference there. Roger, if you can go ahead, the next one, I'll be highlighting it for you.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
No, not at all. And Soflin.
Oh, is Roger still there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, so Soflin says no.
Yeah,
Adams
you
is
don't have
not
to read
injured.
everything I'm highlighting. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
listen, can I ask you a quick
This one is
question,
nothing.
Coach?
Let's go anything else. If we have anything serious here, you can read. I'm gonna see Constantine Dante saying thank you to you. I think send him the check in the mail. So, because, you can go ahead with that one.
Raphael says, Roger, Caicedo has zero skills. Only tackles are decent, but he's incomplete. We need complete DMs. We should go for Nicole Ravella. Listen, he's so. I get what you're saying, but you can say the same thing about N'Golo Kante. Not exactly a prolific goal scorer. Is not very technical on the ball, but in my opinion, one of Chelsea's greatest ever players ever. So you know, a player's profile, it can be quite, multi-dimensional. You don't have to be a Messi on the ball. Messi's not a great tackler. Yeah. So, but guess what? N'Golo Kante is. They're completely different players, and the same can be said with Caicedo. He's a defensive-oriented player. That's shall we say, a box-to-box. I think it's fair to say he's kind of in the mold of an N'Golo Kante in some regards, with regards to his tackling and so forth. I think he's more technical than N'Golo, in my opinion. But he's so young, and yeah, true. He isn't the complete package in some regards, but he is, I think, dare I say, an elite player at what he does. Listen, I personally don't think anyone is worth that money. I'll be honest with you. I'm showing my age here, but all these player prices, they are so over bloated. It's obscene, actually. But if anyone is going to take,
you do say that all the time.
Yeah, it's true though, Coach. It's monopoly money. It's just farcical. But by today's market, it's all about demand and supply. I think Caicedo is going to. I think his ceiling is very high. It really is, and it's based on potential. It's just, don't forget, when a team puts in a purchase price for a player, they sometimes don't believe it's based on today's skill level. They believe it's based on either the length of the contract that's remaining and or the fact that this young player has a greater upside and will only improve. And then this is what the coaching staff and the directors and so forth for any football organization will look at. And this is how they evaluate a player. That they will say, this is how we evaluate him. And we believe that he can achieve a greater ceiling for skill levels or football IQ, however you want to term it.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Yeah, Raphael, thank you for that. Yeah, Raphael has always been skeptical about how much we're paying for Moises Caicedo. Hello
yeah,
to
and I get it.
Raphael. I appreciate you joining, and Jerry Z here. Yeah. Go ahead. It looks like Mike, our communication is going late. It was a pleasure to be on the same platform as Roger last night, engaging in a captivating and exciting conversation. Be specific, where did that take place? I know, but I have to have you say it. Roger, your views on the status of the goalkeeper union, it seems to be collapsing. And here I'm seeing again, Chelsea should get rid of Matt Fraud and the Aston Villa fan, and the guy is trying to sabotage Chelsea. And here's Constantine Dante saying, begging JC not to start the goalkeeping discussion. But just quickly, let's talk about the C-Squad idea right now. No, here's my argument. I don't know, you weren't here yesterday, but I hope you're well, more importantly. My argument to the people that were listening yesterday was, I don't think if I would want to go to Bayern, for reasons I mentioned, what happened during the Club World Cup, how Mendy left for AFCON and Kepa took over and was brilliant between the six for us, did put the foot wrong. He was brilliant in the semifinals of the Club World Cup. And then once Mendy returned from AFCON, he was dropped to the bench. And I was saying, okay, maybe after that, once we get to the Carabao Cup final against Liverpool, that he starts. At least maybe the conversation was, okay, just let Mendy start this one and then you start the other one. And by the way, the cup game at the time, he was a goalkeeper choice for all the cup games. And he led us to the final. I think one of them, he was heroics in the penalty shootout. Then in the final again, he got dropped. So that's not me arguing whether he's good or not. I'm just arguing for that reason. I'm thinking he would be a bit skeptical going to Bayern because Thomas Tuchel is their coach. And he hasn't actually. He didn't see him as the number one choice when he was at Chelsea. So why would he now? So that's just my argument. But you go ahead. I want to see what you make of that room. That the talks of Kepa going to Bayern.
Yes. See, don't forget, Mendy actually lost his job originally to Kepa because he had a broken finger, if my memory serves me correctly. But then you're right.
Exactly. He had to break a bone before Kepa got a chance.
Yeah. And don't forget, when Tuchel took over, he benched Kepa. And let's be honest here, Kepa was not the same goalkeeper as he has been the last season. Let's say that, for instance. He was low on confidence. He was erratic. He definitely was out of form, shall we say. But since being benched and watching Mendy succeed, I think this motivated him, and I think he got his you-know-what together. I think he grafted, he trained hard, and he elevated his game. I know Bobby's probably shaking his head going, really, Roger? But seriously, he did. I don't think he's the same player that Kepa was when Tuchel first benched him. I think he's an improved player. So I believe there is some merit to perhaps Tuchel wanting Kepa now because he sees he's more of a, shall we say, technical player with his feet, and he's not susceptible as he once was a year and a half, 2 years ago. So I think that there is some merit to that. However, do I see him leaving? I have no idea, Coach. Absolutely zero idea. I wouldn't think so, but having said that, I wouldn't be surprised if he left also. It all depends, Coach.
Just go ahead. After I speak now, as you're speaking, I'm going to try to fix my audio. And it looks like my audio is arriving later to you, and that isn't good. But let's move on. Anything else we have? Let's talk about, I don't know if have you spoken about Tyler Adams, Roger?
Yeah, a little bit. Listen, I think we definitely should go after him and purchase him because of the release clause is only 20 million. Coach, by today's standards, that's Christmas sale. He is worth 20 million and then some. Realistically, had he not been on a relegated side, I think he'd be worth 30 to 40 million minimum. And so I think it would be derelict of our duties not to get him for 20 million. I think that's a steal, and when you consider he's a leader, he's basically in his prime. And I think he's industrious. I believe, listen, he played on quite a poor Leeds team last year, and he was a good player. He was very good for America in the World Cup. He was a standout player for them in the World Cup. I know it's a different format. The football is very different at the World Cup. It's slower, etc. I get it. I understand that. So I understand I'm somewhat comparing apples with oranges.
Roger, if you can hear me, go ahead. I'm trying to sort out the audio issue.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. But nevertheless, I believe he is worth 20 million and then some. I think he would make a great addition, assuming he's a consummate team player, etc. And I'm sure they've done their due diligence. And I think there's a very strong possibility, as in like the 90th percentile, that we will successfully obtain Adams. Why not? For 20 million, you get him on a 5-year contract. That's a steal. You're basically getting him for pennies on the pound. So, yes, and it adds depth for rotation, and not just for this year, but years going forward when hopefully we will be in Europe and we will need that rotation. So it can't do any harm. Let's put it that way. The only question is, who else do we sign? Do we even get Caicedo? Do we even get Lavia? Why put in the 48 million? I'm perplexed by that, Coach. I really am. To me, if they really wanted Lavia, they would have put in a 50 million. Why only 48? It doesn't sit right with me. It seems somewhat suspicious in my. Are they only posturing? That's what I don't understand. I mean, I'm sure. What do you think? Or are you busy right now? Sorry. So it's a beautiful game. He's saying, Coach, your injury record is concerning. We can't rely on Roger. He gets caught out of position a lot. How did we miss this at your medical? We may have to go into the market for a new tap-in merchant. That's beautiful, the beautiful game. That's bloody funny. That's very funny. Well done, old Bean. That's oh, Coach, you missed it. You just got dissed. Sorry. But yeah. So let's have a look. Where I'll start reading the actual. I'm not sure where Coach left off. I'm trying to find out where he is. So hey, Bobby, can you hear me? Roberto. Bobby, if you.
Yeah, Roger.
Hola, señor.
Hola, buenos dias.
So Bobby, so I'm playing host for a few minutes here because Coach is a little bit wrapped up. He's got some technical issues. So
Okay.
I want you to drop, if you don't mind. Can you tell me what do you think about what's transpired in the last 12 or so hours?
I think what I'm getting from all this is an example of media involvement in transfers. You know, Sky Sports are desperately trying to get Liverpool, who they favor, and many of their anchors are fans of.
Oh yeah.
They're desperately trying to get Liverpool into the Lavia deal. Who knows if any of this is not just their ploy to either get Liverpool to pay more money or whatever. There's a lot going on at the moment. Chelsea did say, or rather Pochettino did say, that there's going to be a flurry, and he did say that he's looking at about 4 signings for the club. Midfielders, definitely we're going to have at least 2. Even now they're talking about, Caicedo, there's now 3 clubs interested: Chelsea, Liverpool, Bayern Munich. It's all theatrics.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
You know, they are all on the take, honestly. And what disturbs me a little bit is their bias. They have a bias.
It's not even subtle, is it?
It's not subtle. You know, it comes out at times like this. And I don't know. I always think that when media that's meant to be neutral start showing their
colors.
Yeah, I never think it's a healthy situation to be in. I think it leads to many other things that can happen in the sport. I really do. And this is where we are. We've been here for a considerable period of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it shows its head, especially where teams like Liverpool are concerned. You know, they have
And
always
United.
had, and United, you know, they've always had a lot of media presence. You know, they do a lot of their PR, as it were, through media. And, you know, things have not changed in that regard.
Bobby, can I ask you, what do you think of Chelsea's reported, shall we say, offer of 48 million for Lavia?
It's very odd, isn't it?
It doesn't make sense to me. Why 48 when they're asking for 50? Why not make it 45 or 50?
It's very odd. You know, it's not impossible.
No, but it seems highly unlikely.
I don't even know if it's unlikely. It's just odd.
It's
because
improbable.
if Chelsea did want this guy, assuming Chelsea wanted this player,
sure.
You know, the announcement is, the timing is strange, number one. Number two, 48,
Yeah.
including add-ons.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it doesn't make sense. And what is the purpose? When you know you've already done a deal for Tyler Adams, and you know,
Is it just posturing?
yeah, but by who though?
Well,
This is
sending a signal to Brighton saying, "Listen, we're in for Lavia. You either meet us halfway, otherwise we move on." I'm just assuming that
I don't think so.
Okay.
I personally think the Caicedo deal is done this weekend, if
Okay.
not done already.
Sure,
That's
sure.
just my personal feeling.
No, I
Because,
hear you.
we've just got to that point. The tier ones are saying things that that mean things.
Has
for want
Chelsea
of
even officially confirmed that they made the 48 million offer?
no.
No. So this, for all intents and purposes, could be hot smoke.
It could be all sorts of things. It could be agents. This
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. This is where media come in.
No. I get it. I truly do.
There's a lot of mischief, and the Sky Sports media are not innocent.
No.
I've
They're
always
palpable.
been on their case. Oh gosh, boy, I'm always on their case. I don't like that media outlet. We are cornered into it because we don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But I've never liked them. I don't trust them. I think they are biased. I think they are bad for football. That's just my
They're not impartial at all. I get it.
no,
Yeah.
no. And I think it's bad. I think as a media outlet, it's bad to have any kind of bias. And unfortunately, this seems to be the world we're in. We're in a lot of propaganda, spin, all these sort of things that push things in this world. And it's very sad to me. It's
So
very sad to me.
in a world, can you see us making these three purchases of Caicedo, Adams, and Lavia?
Lavia. I
That
can.
seems
I can. I can.
really.
Yes. It would mean, if we do, it would mean one of our midfielders would go.
Oh, for sure.
But if you ask me, what I believe will happen, I believe what's going to happen is Adams and Caicedo. I'm not sure the Lavia situation has any legs.
Yeah, if
If
it's
Lavia
credible.
happens, then it would hurt me, but I think that would be the end of.
Caicedo, really?
No, it'll be the end of Conor Gallagher. Caicedo.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, Gallagher's gone.
If
So would you
Lavia
be
happens.
happy? Would you be happy with Adams and Lavia only?
No, because I think Caicedo is integral to where Chelsea's going. I really do. I think Caicedo has to be done.
It's imperative,
Personally.
yeah?
I do. I believe it has to be done. I believe we've been linked with it for so long in this transfer window. There are now political, if you like, as well as structural reasons for us to get this deal done. We have to get this deal done. He's so potentially important to the success of the club that it needs to be done. And I believe it can be done. I really do. I think that, what's today? Thursday. By tomorrow or Saturday, we would have dropped a bid. I think the negotiations now is all about, are you going to accept the money we're going to drop? In my humble opinion, that's what I think is happening now, honestly.
I just want to read a few things, if I may, Bobby,
Sure,
because
absolutely.
Coach is a bit busy.
Yeah.
Raphael is saying the English media is terrible, especially Carragher. The way they were talking about the Inter Milan was just embarrassing. Yeah, that's credible. The beautiful game, it says, breaking, AFTV have submitted a bid for Chelsea's prospective Coachila, but there are huge concerns regarding his work ethic and attitude. They're considering a loan move with an option never to buy. That's brutal. That's really brutal. Oh, coach.
I have to say, I've been concerned about the direction our media is going. You know, and I say this as a proud Englishman. I think the corruption has set in so badly that we're doing things now that is unbecoming of what we're about. In my opinion, I'm disturbed. I think a lot of this is driven by them, and I'm talking mainstream media. I'm not talking social media.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You know, it
Broadcast and print
disturbs
media.
me.
Broadcast and print, yeah. So, in your estimation, then, I mean, you believe we get it over the line with Caicedo, and we probably announce it this weekend, yeah?
I think we will. I think Tyler Adams was a quickie, as it were, and Caicedo has to be done. I can't see how it can't be done. And an example of how stupid the media are, you know, Bayern Munich are very much involved in the chase for Harry Kane and now we learn Kepa.
Yeah. Do you think that has legs?
Kane? Kepa?
No, Kane is done by the looks of it. They've agreed terms with Tottenham. They just announced it last hour. What about Kepa?
Where are they going to get all this money to then go and drop 100 million for Caicedo? There's a game going on here by somebody somewhere.
Oh yeah, sure. They can't go after Kane and Caicedo. No way.
No, they can't.
No.
Liverpool themselves, you didn't pay 50 million for Lavia. Now all of a sudden you want to pay 100 million for Caicedo. That doesn't make sense either. So there's some gamesmanship happening here for sure, to do with the dealings for Caicedo. My theory is Chelsea have dropped 90, and they are, because they keep saying we are sticking to the 100 million, they are trying to push it to 100, and they're throwing all these other little things in there because Moises Caicedo and his camp are indignant that they want to leave. So they're sort of trying to encourage Chelsea up to their 100 mark, whereas doing all this, there are other suitors, is trying to maybe reassure Caicedo and his camp that they're going to let him go. This is just my theory, because I listen to. I can barely even listen to Sky Sports anymore.
No, I get it.
Just a bunch of.
Can you guys hear me now?
No.
Bobby, while you're still there, this question for you quickly so that we can switch topics as soon as possible. Let's take a few questions there. From it's Shazi, he's saying we've got the goalkeeper and then the midfielder. Next, it will be a shame to lose against Brighton. But that's you can say I think from the person's statement here, I think they're thinking we don't need to sign another goalkeeper. But if Kepa leaves, I think that changes. What do you think?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, go ahead, Roger. Are you done?
Bobby, I was waiting for you.
No, I thought Bobby.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Go for it, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, another goalkeeper, yes, but who is the question?
We cannot rely on.
Mamardashvili is still available. Diogo Costa is still available. I'm not too sure how much it's going to go for.
Because honestly, let's say Kepa does depart to Bayern Munich, and Sanchez is on number one, we cannot rely on our third stringer. He is not Premier League material, in my opinion. He is an emergency. Like, God forbid, if two keepers go down in a game. The season's gone if Bettinelli is between the sticks. That's rest assured. Regardless how good our defense and our midfield is, it's just that simple. So we would have to get, at the very least, an equal, if not better, keeper than Sanchez. We need an upgrade, or at least a very same league as or same level as Sanchez. We cannot just rely on Sanchez and Bettinelli. That would be insane.
Yeah, Bobby, how about you? What do you think?
Right now, my brain is almost frazzled. I don't know what to think. You know, is Kepa going to be allowed to leave to Bayern Munich? Well, the simple truth of the matter is that if they care for him that much, drop your money. You know, if not, it's just media talk.
Have we actually heard how much they have approached Chelsea with, or no price been mentioned? No.
No. The most we've heard is that they want him on loan with an option to buy, not even an obligation to buy, which is a risk. Yeah.
Well, that's just weakening us to meet their ends, which is
why would we do that?
Well, exactly. I'm at that stage where I'm not really trusting many of these stories. I really am not. I don't think, to be honest, as much as I am not a fan of Kepa, I don't think Pochettino would be happy to let him go. Even the striker situation, I've heard from someone that we're going to use Mason Burstow up there, and this is what I've heard, and that you know, he impressed in pre-season.
Sure.
And the goal he scored actually really capped it for Pochettino.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a wonderful thing if we have him there, because one, he knows he won't play immediately, but he knows he will get some time to come on. And how much better to encourage the young lad, at least up until if and when Broja is ready. I don't even think Broja will be ready this year. You know, that's what I feel. I think the focus, a lot of the focus now is the whole midfield conundrum more than anywhere else on the pitch. Even the goalkeeping situation. I have doubts about this Kepa story. I really do.
Okay.
I have doubts too, from the perspective of me of believing that I don't think he'd go to, again, he'd accept you could say, to go to Bayern to get to work under Thomas Tuchel again, because he did him dirty, really, if we're being honest here.
Yeah, but he's a different player now, the coach, though. He really is. I think it was warranted to bench him and bring in Mendy.
Okay, let's see if I agrees to go. And rumors are that talks are advanced between Chelsea and Real Madrid. Gallagher, Jimmy Gallagher, is that how you pronounce his name? Jimmy Gallagher, okay, Gallagher doesn't feel at ease spitting at a camera. He prefers a regular football pass. Okay.
Wow.
Chelsea beat Lavia to check Liverpool's interest in Caicedo. The Caicedo deal will be closed this week, and according to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea's dream will be to introduce him on Sunday, either him walking into the pitch or after before the game or something like that. According to sources, Chelsea and Brighton have come to a compromise for a fee of 90 million plus 10 in add-ons for Caicedo. There are too many outlets, especially Ecuadorian outlets, are reporting that the deal is done. Let's see what else we have. They keep dropping the likes on the stream. Ultimately, Liverpool will buy Lavia, and Chelsea will get Caicedo, and Adams already confirmed. That may well end up happening, but let's see. There's no way we can sign Caicedo after this long. I think that's a sign that actually we need him. And I think we'll do whatever it takes to get the deal over the line. Just give Brighton Starling for free and get this Caicedo done over.
Actually, Coach, Sterling and Cucurella for Caicedo. I think
they would take him. They would take them both, if you ask me.
I wish, Coach. I wish.
No, they would take the two. That's a lot. If you say one of them alone, I'll say maybe no.
Yeah, but just dreaming, Coach. Just dreaming.
Yeah, but maybe they prefer cash rather than a player being involved in the process.
For sure.
This is Brighton wanted us to pay 100 million faster so they can get a replacement. They forgot we've been in the game for a while. Wow, what a way to see it. Freshly reported in the Telegraph, both Liverpool and Bayern Munich have entered the competition to secure the signature of Caicedo. Bayern pulled out 10,000 years ago, but let's see what happens there. Too much of corruption in the EPL is disgraceful. And Jerry Z once more saying Brighton's position in this matter is to present the player to the most generous suitor But more importantly, you'd have to pay attention to where the player wants to go. Otherwise, you're not going to sell him.
Exactly.
Interestingly, Caicedo himself seems inclined towards Chelsea. Exciting times ahead. He wants to come to us. Please says, yep, the Tyler Adams deal is over the line. We'll sign him. Coach, streaming from Mars, just say over when you finish talking so that the next speaker will start. But Tonelli is the greatest of all time. I get it. You're just making fun of him. I heard that Chelsea are looking at Kobo, the BVB keeper, if they sell Kepa. Not a bad goalkeeper, but I'm not too sure how good he is with his feet. Kepa, Mount, Havertz, and possibly Gallagher all leaving in the same window. We have seriously won the transfer window. That's how I see it too. Because I'm sure if you recall, you must have heard me say it 1,000 times that we're going to find it difficult moving on players. And the Saudis had other ideas. Good morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the chat, likes on the stream. I tagged you on Twitter. Pies sums up this whole saga beautifully. I will find it and look at it. Maybe you share it on the screen here. Let's see. Chelsea must sell Kepa. If not, he will go for free in 2 years. He has 2 years left on his contract, and that makes it an even more risky to send him out on loan to any club with an option to buy and not an obligation to buy. I think it's a difficult one, but I know that they will find a solution. Adams is he's a Chelsea player already, and that's some good news.
Did we announce it, Coach? Sorry, did we announce? Did we announce we purchased?
We haven't, but here we go. Is good enough?
Sure. Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. Good day to you too, Choma. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. Luckily, Coach was missing in action. He didn't see all the comments about him. It wasn't me. I did see everything, especially the beautiful game. I don't like him. It's my enemy, so I'm not shocked at that. Coach, it's time to dive deep into preparation for the Chelsea versus Liverpool match. We have a show scheduled already. I don't know why you haven't seen it yourself, and I want you to be part of that particular show. With just 3 days remaining, let's devote every moment to dissecting the game. My focus is solely on this clash.
When is the show, Coach, for this?
I think the morning or the day before. It's scheduled already. Let me check what date is it. I scheduled that particular show.
I say something about Tyler Adams.
Go for it.
I can't say I'm displeased with the deal. Clearly, he must have proved himself fit because he's on his way to London to do a medical. And, I'm just saying, Tyler, please be the player we hope you are, because Chelsea have spent, have sold Ethan Ampadu to Leeds for 7 million, and we're spending 20 on Tyler. So with my Chelsea young player supporting hat on, I'm like, mate, you better be worth it, because, it feels, using your American terms, some type of way, It feels some type of way. It's like, but...
Do you not rate him?
Tyler, of course I do. I saw him in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I think or is it Pulisic? I think he wears the captain's armband for the United States. One thing I do like about
he's the current Captain America.
He's okay.
One thing I do like about Americans is that all the American players I know of that have come to the Premier League and done well, the goalkeepers, the strikers, they're always full of fight. The goalkeepers are excellent. They had that Brad Zefrido, and then there was another guy, I've forgotten his name.
Then the Everton keeper. Yeah, they're world class, no doubt.
Their goalkeepers are excellent. And I think that's because a lot of their cultural sports, they use their hands and their physicality.
And eye coordination,
And the strikers are usually good. Clint Dempsey, I remember. They're very, very good strikers. So I'm hoping he will be a battler in midfield, which is what we need. And if you have him, Caicedo, Enzo, who will do the silky stuff, I guess, and Santos, I think our midfield is in fairly safe hands.
Can
And then,
I just quickly ask something?
Yeah.
If we do, could you see us at any point playing a 4-3-3 instead of a
I
double
think
pivot?
that's what we're going to do because of the injury to
And Cuckoo.
Nkunku. He's going to go 4-3-3. That's what I envisage. I think he wants
Yeah,
three in midfield, and
that's
I
what
think he should.
yeah, that's what I think. So it suits us because of the fact we've lost in Cuckoo. You're right.
But let's wait and see. I think there's a lot of media. Is jingoistics a word? I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of media messing around here, and anything once you start mentioning Liverpool, then I know it's all very dodgy.
It's clickbait,
You know,
isn't it?
I really do. I know. Okay, we're going into dodgy territory now, because that Lavia bid was odd. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just odd.
numerically, it's nonsensical.
And I just anyway.
All
Let's
right.
not be distracted. We have our focus. We've got one down, one more to go. We must do this Caicedo deal. We simply have to
I think
flip
we're
it.
doing that. I think we'll get that deal over the line. I think it happens. I'm not really concerned about that. But go ahead if you're still talking. Let me cut up. We have to switch our topic now. We have too many
No,
lineups for the Wild Food here.
I'll let you go on. Sorry,
Okay.
I interrupted, and I can
No
make a
problem.
couple.
You're good. You're good. You're good, Bobby. This one here says so. The show the pregame show predictions and lineup prediction will be for during the Blue Money show that same day, but a few hours earlier before the game starts. So I think we're good. Yeah, I scheduled already. It has about how many likes already? 7 likes already. Yeah, and this at the end of the once this show ends, it redirects or YouTube will redirect people to that particular show. Is Liverpool really interested in Caicedo? I'd say no. I think it's just the media exploiting the vulnerability of fans of both Liverpool and Chelsea Football Club. Let's see what else we have here. Sold did the game up to Brighton. What was the sense in doing so? We were desperate to get what's his name at the point to get Cucurella, and Gilmore himself wanted to leave. And I would have loved him to stay because Thomas Tuchel, he started to trust him at the point he featured him in some high-profile games, but he wants to be a starter. Every fiber of your being longs for the Chelsea versus Liverpool, a craving from the body, mind, and soul. It won't be long, so you're not going to die for craving for that game. Penalty save against Villarreal and Eintracht Frankfurt, like a UEFA Champions League final in 2012. A 17-year-old, I am crying. Okay, you enjoyed that at the time. What's happening to Kudisdale? I'm not sure it's still out there. Brighton have not been able to wrap up that particular deal, which means there's a chance we'll sign Caicedo and then go back to Kudisdale and say, yeah, we're coming for you again. Rumors are that he's a bit reluctant to sign with Brighton. But let's see. Some are saying that he's insisting they add a buyer clause to that deal, probably after seeing what's going on with Caicedo. And there's a chance it's all house doo-doo because the media, they know if they put out such people will crave to consume it. This is why I want Chelsea to be as strong as possible to even contemplate of winning anything. The bias and the hate on Chelsea is a real nothing new here. Coach, it's like my brother. Yeah, I'm not your brother, but I'm like your brother. So I don't like you anyway. Just go away. It's all love. It's all love. And I don't take it personal. I enjoy how you speak. Your contributions in the chat are all excellent, my brother. Breaking table, Coachila has broken his ACL. Wow, he's going to be out for a while. And I'm sure some Chelsea fans will be celebrating that. And it'd be difficult for him to come back the same. Maybe it differs for goalkeepers. I don't know. Everyone knows the history between Taylor and Chelsea. First game of the season in this Taylor for Chelsea game, unbelievable. Maybe the more we talk about it, he'd be, you could say, the way the Sunday performance we experienced the last time he officiated a game for us. I think he was actually he was on our side during the last game. But let's see what happens this time. But that's, by the way, Tuchel obsessed with Premier League players. I'm not at Bayern. It's not just about what Tuchel wants. It's a way it takes, you can say, the synergy between the manager, the scouting department, and the entire buying hierarchy is something special. Good afternoon, everyone. Here, please. Again, it's very important that we secure the service of Caicedo before the start to the league. I think we'll secure him. Am I too sure it's going to be before the start of the season? I don't know, but chances are that will be the case, because according to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea's priority dream, he used the word dream specifically, will be to announce Caicedo on the 13th. Okay, how are you doing, Agani Felix? Felix, I appreciate you joining. People keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Imagine we sign a Caicedo, Adams, and Lavia. The hate will be unbelievable. And they cannot enjoy. They cannot let us enjoy anything nice. We're enjoying. Okay, we're seeing that we're making progress in the market, signing new players, and boom, we started hearing that Chelsea are being investigated for how they paid money into offshore accounts and all that.
Coach,
yeah, Bobby.
If I drop out, I'll have to drop back in. I'm just going to start my treatments. Hopefully,
all right.
It won't be long.
All right,
Okay,
I hope it goes well. Okay,
yeah.
No problem. Thank you for letting us know, brother. Chelsea signing gonna do well, all of them. My best transfer would be us using Caicedo and go on to sign Kudus without any apology. You can say we were speculating that there's a chance we're letting them sign Kudus so that they let us have Caicedo. That may well not be the case, but I get it. If that's the case and we end up signing them both, they're never going to do business with us again. Regarding Rogers' query, my stance remain resolute. I believe Poch would lean towards a 4-2-3-1. That's his preferred structure, and I think we'll have enough players, because of the quality to execute that structure. If that's what he prefers, we can also go for a 4-3-3. We still have the players to play with that structure too, as it aligns more seamlessly with his tactical preference or approach, if you prefer. What else do we have here? Seems we're going to kill two bros with two stones, Lavia and Kudus, maybe, particularly in terms of elevated winger positioning. Delving into the intricacies of the topic requires a separate in-depth conversation. Okay, let's see what else we have here. I'm going to scroll past a few. However, it's worth noting that Poch has the flexibility to utilize all three of the discussed players, even positioning one in a more advanced role. And Panther says Adam has character, and he's a leader, naturally a leader, and that will go a long way. You need players like him when you are a goal or two goes down. I need them when we're goes up, not when two goes down. I don't need Adams when we're goes down, because if we're goes down, you need more creative players. Chelsea has made a leadership problem, has had a leadership problem for a while. Yep. I don't see Poch changing formation, either 4-2-3-1. I think he can mix it up. That's what I'm saying. 4-0 against Leeds, a red card, Khalidu, and we finished 12th. Wow. I just watched the draw for the second round of the Carabao Cup draw, and I saw Chelsea are going to play AFC Wimbledon. Wimbledon. How do you pronounce that? Wimbledon? But thank you for that, Patrick. I appreciate you for that report. So much going on here. Hello to you, Eugene. I hope you're doing well. Patrick, hello to you too. I had to go out for a beat, coach, so apologies. You don't have to apologize. You're not obliged to watch the show. I get you get it. You enjoy it, and even if you take a break, the show will not grow legs and run away. But thank you. What are the updates? We haven't talked about much actually because I had a technical problem. So just pay attention. You haven't missed too much. Real Madrid are prepared to enter the market for a new goalkeeper, looking for an opportunity to cover Courtois' absence. They've always wanted. They wanted Kepa. It was Zidane that didn't want him. So maybe they will come back for him right now. Kudus want a release clause inserted in his contract, but Brighton are reluctant to do so. Why the deal has stalled? Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's not blind. Chelsea needs to be fast in signing. Okay, Real Madrid coming for Kepa, Courtois out. Yeah, they may well come for him because they wanted him. It was Zidane that didn't want him. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Yep, Eugene is back. It turned out that somebody blocked him. Who that was, I honestly do not know. But I checked. We were suspicious that was the case. I think we had this conversation. I had to let everybody know that we haven't seen Eugene for a while, and that usually don't happen. So it turned out somebody blocked him, but we found that that's a good thing. Let's start addressing the next item we have lined up here. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this morning. We've talked about Tyler Adams. Right now, we're going to move to the next item in the beat. Okay, good luck to you. I spelled the football team wrong. I mean, Wembley, don't worry about that. You're fine. And please leave the Arsenal guy there. I'm not just going to read his comments. He provides value to the channel by watching. So just leave him there. 30 million for Kepa and his yours Madrid. They may well not pay. I don't think they pay something close to that. We need all of them because every player needs a backup. Needs competition. I'd rather say competition than backup. Okay, let's see the next item we have lined up here. This one, still Tyler Adams. I really do like this one. I don't know if you recall me saying he's a new Captain America. It looks good on him. Tyler Adams will join Chelsea after they activated his £25 million, $25 million release clause. And his thing, what a smart thing to do there. He had a relegation release clause. Yeah, a good lesson for all the young footballers out there. Some of them are, you can say, eager to earn the money and not pay attention to what's on the contract. But it was smart for him because he could have been stuck with them right now if not for that exit strategy. And this one here, what do we have? Sorry, the X thing there hopefully shows up a bit blank. Let's see if I get Roger talking. I'll do something to address it. This says Tyler Adams will undergo his medical at Chelsea. Today they're saying, and this one here, all blank. I have to sort that out as soon as possible. Sorry, guys. It's been a quirky start this morning for a multitude of reasons. I didn't go through the customary process of restarting the system before the show starts. Sources believe that Chelsea's 48 million pounds offer for Romeo Lavia, which was submitted on Wednesday night, is linked to the unfolding race to sign Caicedo. I don't know, Roger. Maybe you've talked about that. What is really going on here? Some are saying the hijack was fake. Some are saying it was just us testing whether Liverpool would come for Caicedo. I don't know. What is your understanding of the whole situation?
I mean, yeah, it could be a game of chess, couldn't it? Let's be honest. But it's just the number. It's not the fact that they put in an offer, supposedly. It's the numerical amount that they offered that has me perplexed. I find it intriguing. Why would they not either put 45 or 50? Why 48 when they're asking for 50? Now, if
the 48 makes sense, just quickly, if I can come in, if you don't mind.
Sure.
48 makes sense because Liverpool had a 45 million pounds be rejected.
Sure.
So we want if you have to get the deal done, you have to bid a bit more beyond. Again, you have to add something to that 45. But go ahead, Roger.
The reason why I say this is because Liverpool have attempted 3 times to sign this player. And if Chelsea's intention was to, shall we say, irrefutably go in for a bid that could not be denied, you would have put 50 down and said, you know what, we've met your criteria, we want him now. That's it. End of story. If you really wanted him, so why 48? To me, that just opens the door for a counter offer from Liverpool, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? We're talking about 2 million.
Yeah,
in today's market, this is trivial, which is sad to say. Does that make sense? So if they really wanted him, why put in 48? I know we're tight for money, but not when it comes down to 2 million. That's where I'm a bit suspicious, Coach. I'm somewhat perplexed.
Yeah, I understand totally. Yeah. I think right now I'm confused. And yesterday when I heard it, I thought it was serious. But now I've heard so many stuff, and I've started to think maybe it was absolute nonsense, really. But I get it where that when I did say the situation, it creates a rumor for the media to fabricate stories and put it out there instead of be believable. Yeah, let's see what else we have. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Adam's arrival only means Santos is going on loan. I don't think Santos leaves on loan. I think he differs from Santos a bit. But I do have a few updates to tell you, Coach. According to Transfer News Live, Batley will not be joining Real Madrid this summer. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Madrid. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he just announced that he's informed PSG he's not going to be leaving them at all this summer.
So he's going to finish the season with them, but then leave as a free agent.
Apparently.
Okay, let's see. Madrid come and sign who? Let's see. Logan says, I'm not excited about these midfield Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, and Adams. It costs almost 300 million, but none of them can even take a free kick. They just run like a cat after a young. Wow, after a young ball, we need a different profile. Maybe we're still looking to mix it up. You never know. Also, I heard Bayern Munich have joined the race along with Chelsea and Liverpool to sign Caicedo. I think that's absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
I bet you if I go now and say a legit source has told me that Liverpool are actually more advanced in negotiations with Brighton than Chelsea, you will pick up. Yeah, even if I finish a report and below it, write, this is not true.
It's just baloney, isn't it?
Under it, if I write this is not true in all caps, because they don't read through reports. What's important to them is the headline, especially if you're talking about a web page. Even on
clickbait.
There's not too many to read there. Some people just retweet it without getting to the part where I said this is not true.
Yeah, it's clickbait, Coach.
Yeah, exactly. People do it, and I've seen somebody do something. I think I find it. Did an experiment, just forged. You can say forged a transfer rumor, and it took off, and it went viral.
Really?
All it would take is just 3 retweets, and you're not accountable to anybody for doing that. Especially if you have at the bottom, this is not true. Adams, Leslie, Caicedo, Santos, Enzo, Gallagher, 6 midfielders needed for the entire season. Considering we are I can't say that word.
Susceptible.
We are susceptible to injury. That's just me struggling because of the pain in my tooth. But thank you, Roger, for helping there. There's also a deal done for West Ham signing Edson Alvarez. Yep, already done. Thank you for that. I think you'll be very useful for the sister channel once we start streaming there. Yusuf is currently undergoing medicals with Everton. Okay, let's see what else we have here. There's also a deal done for Luton Town signing Jacob Brown from Stoke City. If you guys can bounce out with Arsenal analytical vision, done again, except if it becomes if it starts abuse, if it becomes abusive, you can ban him. But if it's just bantering, you can banter back. He provides value to the community. It's Lukaku dead, done, or since Vlahovic has rejected CFC, it's not valid. No, there are reports with regards to Lukaku's future suggesting that we're working with the Saudis. So if he ends up not joining Juventus, then we'll be able to sell him to the Saudis. And the report suggests that Lukaku is open to that because he wants. He's not gonna. I don't think he stays at Chelsea and not be playing football until the season ends. Real Madrid are now weighing up a similar loan to buy approach as Bayern Munich for Kepa Arrizabalaga. Okay, now we have ourselves a bidding war. Maybe we'll get something sizable from that. But since that's the case, I have to say it's either you take him on loan with an obligation to buy or forget it. And what would CFC fans who considered him not good enough? I don't think that's that for the. Let me just move on from that. I don't work for the Goalkeepers Union. $35 million is pounds. It's good. It's a good price for Edson Alvarez. Yep. But we didn't want him. It's Nicola Barilla for sale. Even if he is, I think he's not going to comfort you. He's a player I love so much. And the rumors were that if he decides he wants to live in Inter Milan, that Chelsea will be his most likely destination. But that hasn't happened, and I haven't heard too much about his future. I don't know if he's left Inter Milan. I'm not too sure that has happened. Chelsea have no loss, even if Kepa leaves. We need money at the moment. Okay, thank you. And not only that, but Bayern Munich have reached an agreement with Tottenham for the signing of Harry Kane. Yeah, that's huge, really. And I'm happy for Kane. Let him win something. He deserves to win the trophy. Even if it ends up being just a Bundesliga, that's not bad. Arsenal fans are showing voice skills. Okay. I don't think it's Ancelotti likes a goalkeeper like a Paris of Malaga. Maybe he doesn't. Okay, given a chance, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along, but I appreciate you all. Let's see what else I have to address here so that we'll move to the next item. This says, I feel something like Lukaku to Spurs. Here we go. It may well happen. You never know. Bashir Humphries to Swansea on loan close. Disappointment for Bobby there. And I appreciate you joining Wally Waldo. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. I know you're a busy man, but please do let us know that you're okay. Barella has said that to the media he wants to stay at Inter Milan. So good. He's a player I love so much. Spurs already signed a striker replacement for him. Excellent. Let's get the deal done as soon as possible. And Eugene here saying we need a better atmosphere on the field. We need ultra fans. We need that. I think we've always had issues with the behavior of our fans. They're easy, you can say, succumb to, you can say, failure. You see, it doesn't. You hardly see our fans push even when the team is struggling. They start struggling with the team. But I don't know why that's the case, but that's just my opinion. Let's see what else we have lined up.
No, it's true,
here.
Coach. It's true.
Yeah, and that's a problem, really. Because usually, go ahead.
I remember when Chelsea played Liverpool at the Bridge a few years ago, and the Liverpool fans were probably, 3,000 or 4,000, and they were by far louder than the whole of the Bridge combined. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was embarrassing.
Yeah, that's an issue, really. I don't know. Maybe we have legacy fans. I'm not too sure what term to use not to come across as if I'm, you can say, insulting some sections of the fan base. 48 million is kind of cheap to say. Caicedo is 100 million. Is that his buyout clause or his evaluation? We don't need Lavia. Let's see. Maybe we don't. But Kimson, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. And finally, Everton has announced that they are interested in signing PSG player Hugo Ekitike. Okay. I'm not sure I know him that much. I've heard that name, but I don't know it. Let me be honest. I don't know anything about him. I am shocked Liverpool are asking about Caicedo. I think it's absolute nonsense, really.
Yeah, don't be shocked.
Yeah, don't be shocked. I think it's just the media, you say, exploiting the fans' vulnerability at this point. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up here, people. I appreciate you all joining. We are at 101 likes. Let's see if we can get it to 200 as soon as possible. That'd be great. This says, I've been told this morning that any deal for Romeo Lavia doesn't impact Chelsea's interest in Moises Caicedo and Tyler Adams. Chelsea is confident Adams' deal will happen, and it has happened already. That's not to say they get all three, but that's what the club wanted in an ideal world. But it looks like we end up with Adam and Moises Caicedo plus Leslie Goalkeeper. Don't count him out. The chances are, if it's available to go out on loan, I don't think we'll be hearing so much about it now because he's a fine player. What do you think, Roger?
Who are you referring to, sir?
Leslie Goalkeeper. I think he stays, in my opinion, from what we've seen so far. He's such a fine player that if it's available to go out on loan, I think clubs will be vying for his signature right now. But we haven't heard much about that.
Yeah, well, it all depends on. I think he may go out on loan if Gallagher is not sold. I don't think we can. In fact, even if Gallagher is sold, he may go out on loan because of the size of the squad, unless Poch makes an exception, unless he increases his squad above 25.
And he may end up doing that, but go ahead.
Yeah, but that's not his MO. But then again, this is a big club, and perhaps he will make an exception. But if he doesn't, then I believe he will go out on loan. He has to, numerically speaking.
Yeah, but let's see what happens. I think your argument does make a lot of sense. We have Lego fans. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not really an argument. I'm just trying to determine mathematically. I mean, I don't want him to go out on loan either. you know. But just like I didn't want Hall to go out on loan, but I think they have a strategy going forward, and I believe they identify these players, and if they aren't able to, shall we say, add more experienced players, then they will stay. If not, they will go out on loan. I think he wasn't purchased for this year, I believe. I think he's a long term, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a fine player. Again, of all the players we have within our ranks, he's the only, at this point, the only traditional DM we have. I don't see. Yeah.
But coach, you know, when we do start putting players out on loan, I think we do need to have a clause in there for a callback in case of if our injuries are depleting the team. I think we should have the ability to recall a player. I think it's imperative that transpires. Otherwise, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah. Let's see. Southampton have told Liverpool they want around 17 million. For who? For Lavia? Okay. Let's see.
Who's the source?
Can you tell us who's reporting that? Let's see. Chelsea to beat Liverpool. Let's see if that happens. Liverpool cannot outbid us. They cannot even pay 15 million for Lavia. Yeah, I don't think so either. And for a bonus update, Carl Starfelt has now left Celtic and is now at Celta Vigo in Spain. Okay, good move. Who suffered it's a symmetry. A small section of fans in the stadium are vocal. Rest are just spectators. Yeah, I've taken my time. I didn't rush to that conclusion saying I think our fans they've not been helpful. Chelsea beat for Lavia was to annoy Liverpool. That may well be the case. There's a chance for serious. But these days, we've learned that we don't waste too much time on deals. But sometimes you can. We can't have it our way. It depends on we are negotiating with, or the size of the deal maybe. Is Tyler Adams a good purchase? For me, I am not quite sure. For me, I think it's a good purchase.
I think he is. I think
it's a good.
Assuming he doesn't get re-injured and he's basically healthy, I think we can sell him next year for a profit already. It's that simple. He's worth more than £20 million based in today's market. I think not just strategically, but financially, this was a very astute purchase.
Yeah, but I think he gets to play too.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, worst case. I believe that he's worth way over 20 million by today's, shall we say, market price.
Yeah, and overall, he's a good player. I get, and he's more than just a player for the club. He's the new Christian Pulisic, in terms of the American market.
Yeah, shirt sales, digital rights, etc. Yeah.
But the good thing is he's a good player. It's not just about him being the door or the window to the American market, but he's a good player.
And coach, also don't forget that the World Cup is going to be in America. Well, it's going to be in North America, I should say. You know, Canada, United States, and Mexico. And when that time arrives, he'll be under contract with Chelsea, so that gives us greater exposure also. If that makes sense.
I do agree with you. Yeah, and what is saying the new asking price from Southampton is because they sold Ward Prowse. So probably if they have to let Lavia go, it has to be for something special. It makes sense now. I remember in January we were talking about Tyler Adams. We did talk about him at length, saying he will not be a bad addition to the squad because he did well. Even during the World Cup, he was excellent for the US and all that. A fine player, and he's a natural leader. I don't think he needs to be the captain to lead. And we need a team, the sort of team where in every department, the defense, the midfield, the attacking, if we have leaders in all second, you say departments on the pitch, I think we'll be all right. Chelsea Ghanaian fans are shaking. We don't know what's going on. We need more good news. Hold on, you hear more. I think we get a Caicedo deal over the line. I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. One more update to tell you that's just been announced. Real Madrid are considering making a move to sign Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa and Man United goalkeeper De Gea, so most likely get David De Gea on the permanent.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Well, he's a free agent, isn't he?
I think he is, yeah. So that makes it an easy call for them, really. It won't take them too much time to discuss that one. And let's see what else we have here. What's going on is to say that the rumors are that our dream is to get the deal over the line, announce them on Sunday during or maybe before the Liverpool game. According to Fabrizio Romano. Hopefully we see that happen. Let's move on to the next item. I appreciate you all joining. 104 likes. That's not easy. Let's see if we can get it to 200 likes by the time the show ends. I appreciate you all your patience when we were struggling. And I remember, I haven't forgotten, we didn't do this monthly student giveaway last month. So we have to do it twice this month at given dates. How soon? I'm not sure how soon, but we get it done. Trust me. Once more, let me see what my bro, the Beautiful Game, has to say there in the chat. I just called him my bro, even though I don't like him. The area is most likely he's a free agent and Ten Hag doesn't want him. You can say, you can argue as a shortstopper, I get it. He's prone to high profile errors. I'd take him over Kepa. But if I really want a goalkeeper that's good with his feet, good on the ball, I'd take Kepa Arrizabalaga over David De Gea. Please subscribe to the sister channel, Soccer Perspective, where rival fans can have their say. Yep, even Arsenal fans. I knew you had to do that because of that bro in the chat there. But thank you, brother. Ideally, Enzo Santos, Leslie, Conor, Carney, Caicedo, Lavia, Adams, 8 players are for 3 positions. It's a bit too much. How many and whom do you sacrifice? If you asking me that question, we have Santos, Enzo, Leslie, Conor, Carney. No, they're not. You're mixing it up. I wouldn't. I wouldn't count Carney as a deep line midfielder. No, I would not count. Even if you have them all, then you can stop counting Lavia as a deep line midfielder if you want to. I think that's not a bad number there. Yeah, remember, there's a difference between who plays on the left and the right. And if you're talking about the real application, there's a difference between who stays disciplined and who has the independence to be adventurous on the pitch. So you have to pay attention to that factor. So I think it would take some analysis to come to a conclusion on who gets sacrificed.
And that's assuming we don't, shall we say, deviate to a 4-3-3 occasionally also.
Yeah, exactly. So even to the fact that there's a chance that that number there remains intact, but you don't know. But if we're going by 2 players per position, that number may well, you may well need to, you can say, send one of the players on loan, but it's difficult. And it would not make sense to just look at it and say, you know what, Kylie goes out on loan. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to consider, like Roger mentioned, the possibility of playing with a 4-2-3-1 or with a back 3 where you use wingers, or with a system where you play 3 midfield, structure where you play 3 midfielders. So it will take some analysis to decide, you know what, after looking at it, these are the players that will end up leaving on loan. But it makes sense to bring this up. Maybe we need a show for that one. Can we buy Yusuf Fofana? I haven't heard that we're looking at him. Just imagine Wousa Kepa and Guy De Gea and get De Gea for free. Will he suit CFC? I'd say I don't want De Gea really. As much as I think he's a good keeper, I don't want.
De Gea is an amazing shot stopper. He's not bad aerially, but he's prone to the occasional big
high-profile mistakes.
Yeah, he is. Listen, I rate him as an elite goalkeeper, but there are times when, you know, he doesn't make. He's good with his distribution, but this is what I'm trying to say. Kepa doesn't.
But he cannot match Kepa in that aspect.
No, exactly. That's my whole point.
Did I do the tapping on you, but I was onside?
Honestly, Roger, I love you very much as a brother, but your choice in goalkeepers is very, very suspect. David De Gea, he's a terrible keeper. I don't want him anywhere near Chelsea.
Sure, but listen, I'm talking about historically. 4 times he was Player of the Year for them in 12 years. And don't forget, they were quite poor for the last 12 years. So You know, I think he was a stand-up play for them, and he saved them on many occasions. He was a good 15 or 20 point a season he was worth because of his shot-stopping ability. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not the perfect all-around keeper, but I'm saying in his prime, he was an amazing shot stopper.
Richard, do you remember we won an FA? Was it an FA Cup or was it semi-finals? I don't quite recall. Due to 2 howlers for him in a single game.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's been prone to. I think it's because he I don't know what he was having. It's something with his personal life, or it was a contract discussion. But he had one really poor season. But that happens with keepers. But in his prime, you can't deny he was an elite goalkeeper.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Yeah, but I
wouldn't want him at Chelsea now, because I believe he's past his prime, or at least has been, unless he all of a sudden improves himself once more. And which begs the question: if that's the case, why hasn't he been more consistent? Is it because of he basically was just playing for the money and not for the pride? I don't know.
Roger, it's not going to happen.
No, I know it's not. I can't see us signing him at all.
Yeah. Just quickly, let me catch up here. I hope Caicedo will join Chelsea as soon as possible, because he is the perfect fit for Chelsea project. Good afternoon from Ghana. Manuel Perez, I appreciate you for joining us from Ghana. I hope you're doing well. Make sure, please, to subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the stream. And please do share the channel and the stream with all the Ghanaian brothers who are Chelsea supporters. Let's keep growing. I really appreciate that. But thank you, Manuel Perez, for joining. And I appreciate you saying where you're from. That goes a long way. And if you're watching, please go check out Michi Boy's YouTube channel. Click the 3 dots to his name. I think you let him share the link to his channel so it's easier not to get me talk too much while I'm busy hosting a show, Michi Boy. And Michi, no more getting loan players from here. You exhaust them. You don't follow regulations, man. I'm just kidding, bro. Much love. Just share the link to your channel so they can go check it out. Premier League begins tomorrow evening with Burnley versus Manchester City. But thank you for that update there, Joyce. Just heard that Raheem is linked with the Saudi move. Yep, it is true. But how serious, I don't know. 8 players for 3 positions. Is that bad? Isn't that bad? It isn't. But the question is, the manager may well decide to have the surplus in some other requirements, in some other areas and not the midfield area, but we don't know. That's why I'm saying it's not just something you look at and say player A, B, C goes out on loan. It will take some analysis, really, which means it all comes down to the manager. Adams, here we go. And Keyshawn, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. And I like your avatar. I hope that's not reflective of your situation in real life, because it doesn't look good for Hakim Ziyech there. Here we go for Tyler Adams. Yep, we've seen that. But thank you once more for bringing it up. I appreciate you. Much love to you. Honestly, if Kepa leaves, then Sanchez will become number 1. Even with Kepa being available, from everything we're hearing, it looks like Sanchez will end up becoming the number 1. But I don't think it will be drastic. I think it will be gradual. He gets an opportunity if he does well, and that's it. And remember, we've made that argument that Chelsea will sign another goalkeeper. And I don't think, I've always told you guys, I don't think if we sign a new goalkeeper, it will be a second choice goalkeeper. I think they've signed a goalkeeper in preparation for Kepa's exit, because they've always wanted to sell him. And but because of his salary,
Coach, I have a theory.
We weren't able to do that. Go ahead, Bobby.
How about this? During our negotiations with Brighton, they came with their Sky Sports narrative that they have Bayern Munich and Liverpool chasing after Caicedo. So Chelsea said to Brighton, Liverpool? Right, okay, we'll take care of that. And they went and frightened Liverpool by dropping something for Lavia to say, stay away from Caicedo. You're not invited to this party. That's my second theory on what happened. How's that?
It's a possibility. It makes sense. People do all sorts of things during business negotiations to prove a point. So that may well have, that's a chance that happened. De Gea most likely are now going to Real Madrid or as a free agent. That would be their first choice, really. No need. They'd be stupid to actually, you said, do otherwise. Go ahead, Bobby.
So yeah, I have a question. It's kind of for Roger. Now, I wonder, I mean...
Bobby, just quickly, let me take care of this quickly. Just 1 second, please. It won't take too much time. And Jerry Z says, Coach, I'm about to head out for my wife's birthday. I am also bringing a soccer board with me. Okay. I plan to analyze and strategize the tactics for the Chelsea versus Liverpool game during the celebrations.
You're a brave man, Jerry. Brave man.
Yeah, exactly. More importantly, happy birthday to your wife. Here's some fireworks for her. Tell her much love to her and happy birthday to her. Today she becomes a year older. I don't want to know how old she turns today. But more importantly, we appreciate you sharing that with the community. That means a lot to us. So happy birthday to your wife. Have a good day with her. And remember, happy wife, happy life, and vice versa. But pay attention to that. Bobby, go ahead with what you were saying.
After hearing about the ACL to Thibaut Courtois, couldn't have happened to a nicer fella. I didn't mean that. But I'm wondering, with a goalkeeper, how debilitating is an ACL? I mean, they can surely come back quicker than an outfield player, or is it just that they probably use more of their knees in terms of movement than outfield players?
Well, that's just it. It's positioning, and it's also, don't forget, when you're standing and you want to spring to either dive to your left or your right, whether it's low or high, you have to put stress on tendons and muscles. It's probably, in some regards, more so than an outfield player. Do you understand what I'm saying? To say it's less vital for an ACL for a goalkeeper than an outfielder, I
disagree. That I just wanted to know, because if that's the case, that is a very, very serious injury.
Yeah, this is a serious injury for a keeper, no doubt about it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, exclusive. I want to do a tapping on the beautiful game. Breaking news: Bayern Munich have submitted an official offer to Chelsea of 1 year loan with the option to buy for Kepa Arrizabalaga. I will not do that. It's a risk with an option, maybe with an obligation. I say let's go for it. But Bobby, go ahead with what you were saying.
No, I was just trying to be funny and say, well, Kepa, there's a chance at Real Madrid. But yeah, I mean, Bayern, as I've said, do we even believe this? There's a lot happening because, you see, Chelsea is on everybody's mouth right now. When we move, everybody starts moving, both on the pages of newspapers, not that we have newspapers anymore, but you know what I mean, and in the transfer market. Everybody got Chelsea on their lips at the moment. Agents, clubs, media, it's all about Chelsea. I don't believe any of this, Bayern and Kepa. I really don't. I have very, very strong doubts. I have as much doubts as I did the Lavia announcement last night. Could it be possible? Yeah, probably. But it just doesn't sound like a plausible deal. You want him for a loan with an option. Okay, maybe it works for you. But would Chelsea even consider that at this stage in the whole season? I don't think so. It just doesn't. It's not a solid bid. Let's put it that way, if it exists at all.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Bobby. De Gea most likely. You don't need Einstein to help us figure out that. De Gea won Golden Gloves this year. How is he awful? That doesn't. Here's the thing.
Why isn't Bayern looking at De Gea then? He's not going to cost them anything. You see what I mean?
That's a good argument, really. De Gea, the United reject, and now reject nothing. I don't want him, but
I didn't say we should go after him. I just said in his prime, he's an elite keeper, and he's proven it time after time, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
That's all
And
I'm
once more
saying.
again, I hope you saw when we played the fireworks for your wife. Happy birthday to her. I hope you both enjoy your day. And please do not take that risk of being a proper just while you're celebrating your wife's birthday. I'm not going to help you sort it out if anything comes up. I just got done a done deal update from Everton that they have confirmed they are third signing from their third signing from Sporting Lisbon. Yusuf, okay, good signing for them. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else? De Gea is on Bayern Munich's radar. They wanted by Thomas Tuchel to boost their goalkeeping department. Okay, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show, people. Even Lavia and Curtis are good. Both are. Let's see what else we have here. I keep dropping the likes on the stream. I will keep you updated until the transfer window closes. I will be back tomorrow, Coach. All right. Thank you so much for all the updates. I appreciate that. You're a valuable member of the community, and hopefully you start doing that for us once we start streaming on the sister channel. That 100 million for Caicedo, Valverde, and Paredes. That Chauvin thinks we should just get those two players instead of paying 100 million for Caicedo. Do I think we'd pay 100 million for Caicedo? I don't think so. Neymar to Barcelona, yeah, that's more like it. Kepa should go Mamadash from should go. Okay, so Mamadashville from Valencia, because it's also good at the goal post. So I think it's good to get him to compete with Sanchez. Love Chelsea, as always. Mike Ghanaian, bro, I remember you said you're from Ghana. I appreciate you joining, and thank you for that contribution there. Jersey proper Chelsea, yeah, but not at the expense of your marriage, man. Happy wife, happy life, and vice versa. Journalist Green Belly has stated Liverpool have not made a bid for Caicedo. Again, they just, you could say, exploiting the fans' vulnerability, breaking it. Bayern, I've already said that, and I saw your comment before I said it. So I wanted to tap in on you, and I was outside when I did that. So, but I appreciate you. Just kidding, bro. If you look at it here, Bayern Munich have submitted an official offer to Chelsea of 1 year loan with the option to buy. And if they end up not buying him, then we'll lose Kepa for peanuts. It just doesn't make sense, and I don't want that to happen, in my opinion. Yeah, Bayern tried to lowball us, put the obligation not. I'm not into option anymore. It's either you're obliged to buy the player at the end of the loan or forget it. You accept again the obligation to buy the player at the end of the player's loan or forget it. Samson Olasukami, I appreciate you. Enzo Adams Caicedo, not bad. We're cooking, really. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with Coach. I'm going to sleep. Okay, see you tomorrow. Let me know here we go today letter because it's going down today. Shafodinho, I appreciate you. Go enjoy your sleep. Talk to you next time when you join the show. I appreciate you, brother. Much love to you. Coach, please wanted to know the bid we sent to the Saints. Do you think they are going to let Lavia leave? Here's the thing, there are questions now whether that was real or whether it was just fake news. We do not know. I don't get it, Coach. Just like me, you love a complete midfielders like Barilla, but you still like Enzo. Like what? Enzo is a specialist. Barilla has more to his game to Enzo, if you ask me, but not available on the market. I like Enzo. He's good. The only thing we want with Enzo, here's the thing. Enzo is still a deep line midfielder, but at the same time, he needs to have the independence to be more adventurous on the pitch. Since he's joined us, I think he's always been tasked to be the more. He's always been the one charged to be disciplined while the other player ventures forward.
Coach, yeah.
Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, if you look at the World Cup final, like I can't remember how many minutes it was, but the first 80 or 75 minutes, give or take, he was very deep lying for Argentina.
Yeah.
But then he had
the independence to venture forward whenever he sees the deems fit or whenever he sees the space. Go ahead.
Well, that's just it. Then he was given the license to go forward, and you can tell he was playing a far more forward role, which he excelled at also. So he's capable of playing both positions. Is he the quintessential deep line midfielder for defensive purposes? No, he's not. But he's also like a Pirlo, if you see what I'm saying, where he distributes the ball.
Yeah, to me, in simple terms, he's a deep-lying midfielder.
Yeah, but that game in
Mhm.
particular encapsulates his ability to play deeper and more forward. That's the example I was trying to give.
And and if you pay attention to a lot of Chelsea fans thinking we should deploy him as an 8 or even as a 10, here's the thing. The moment you deploy him further forward, it's not going to be that effective. He's the sort of player, he needs to operate from a deeper position and has a complete view, a perfect view of the pitch. That's what defines his vision. His ability to read the game so well. And from a deeper position, he does that exceptionally well. To me, I think he's an excellent player signing for us. But the confusion in the fan base is that some think he's a 10 or he's an 8. No, he's not. He's better, Coach, more effective if he operates from a deeper position. But go ahead, Roger.
But Coach, when we face teams that had a very low block, he is essentially playing just about 22 to 24 yards out, which is very forward. And if you remember, he was able to create those amazing chips, those chip passes, like he's using a sand wedge, where Enzo successfully, scored, etc. And the same with, I think, Havertz also. So he's able to excel in the forward. Because don't forget, when the team is using a low block, he is essentially in that forward role, if that makes sense. And we come across that quite often when we play a team with a low block. So do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I'm with you. And just quickly, a report here. We don't need Einstein to tell us that. It's one of those reports that says, if Chelsea do offload Kepa Arrizabalaga, expect more movement in the market. As mentioned earlier in the summer, Giorgio Mamadashvili has been looked at and is very much liked. And we don't need scientists to tell us that. It's just simple. You can say it's common sense that if Kepa leaves, we must buy another goalkeeper. With all Kepa flaws, I would take him over De Gea. I would do the same, honestly. Okay, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. What else do we have here? Supreme Court's nice to see you. Real Madrid needs De Gea now. He's available again as a free agent, so it's a no-brainer for them. Reports from the Times, Southampton have not rejected a bid from Chelsea, and they haven't accepted it either. So nothing. The bid is in purgatory right now, for lack of a better term. Chaotic news today. You can say, keep dropping the likes on the stream, please. What is the real situation with Caicedo? Are we getting him or not? Philip Moses, I like the two names, the two biblical names that I like so much, but I don't know the meaning. I don't know, where we are with that Caicedo pursuit. But here's the thing. What I have to tell you is this. According to Fabrizio Romano, our dream would be to unveil Caicedo on Sunday, the day we play Liverpool. And the two clubs are still talking, and recent reports suggest that we're making progress. According to Foot Mercato, PSG have made contact with Montpellier for Chelsea target Ayawahi, and he will most likely end up at PSG because the plan has always been to loan him out if we sign him. So he will probably choose PSG over Chelsea. And he didn't like that, according to reports. Which means I think we'll miss out on that one. Give Juventus Kukurea, Ziyech, Stalin, and get Vlahovic. And that is just your opinion. But do we really want Vlahovic? We, as in the manager and the hierarchy, doesn't look like they're too keen about him. Justin Chelsea are now submitting a bid of 90 million plus 10 add-ons for Caicedo, according to Football Insider. I think that does it. He wants to leave. And if they waste any further time, he's going to submit a transfer request. Kane gone to Bayern. Wow, Spurs going to struggle. I don't think so. Maybe, did you ever think that's a chance Kane has been the problem too? I get he scored too many goals. How about the fact if he leaves and they become, you can say now they become more than a one-man's team. That's just my opinion. I don't think they're finished. Maybe they'll be even better without him, because that has happened before. They end up winning something after he leaves. Kane should have stayed and gone for free. Nope, he wants to win something, and this is the opportunity. And the club would want to get some fee from selling him. And for how old is he? 110 million. Was he euros or pounds? That's a lot of money. Even for euros, even at that, even if he was 90 million euros, that's still a lot of money for his age. But his quality, that's the thing. and they know what they're buying. Spurs are really done for getting rid of your top goal scorer for the last 6 years in mind blowing. Here's the thing. I think we're seeing it like we see the Chelsea transfer activities. Consider the fact that Kane wants to leave. It's as simple as that. And when that is the case, they'd have no option than to sell him. Otherwise, he leaves as a free agent next year. Then they lose on book. So they lose Kane, and then also they lose. They won't. You say they will regret not selling him for 100 plus a million euros. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. They just had to accept that offer. If they tried, and Kane himself, I don't think Bayern would have come in with an improved bid if he wasn't ready to go to them. I actually read a report saying he told them they should, whatever they do, they should get it done before the league starts. Otherwise, he's staying at Sports. So that's his ultimatum. That was his ultimatum to Bayern. Get it done before the league starts, or I'm staying. Bayern Munich has officially submitted a loan option to buy Kepa Arrizabalaga. I'd say with an obligation, or forget it. Coach, please confirm this update from Chelsea all the way. Yeah, he's correct. But just checking online right now. I can go to Twitter and check. Coach, real happy Reece James has finally gotten that leadership role at Chelsea, because he's a hard worker and Chelsea through and through. I'm happy too. And before time, I suspected it was going to be Thiago Silva. But then again, you could say Thiago Silva is the sort of guy that would say he doesn't need the armband to lead. Or I think we all can agree he doesn't need that to lead. He's always led, even when he's not the captain. He leads by example, and he's been there, done that, seen it all, won it all. So whenever he speaks, the players will listen.
And you know what? James could always go to Silva for advice if he ever needs it. You know, he's a highly tenured player that I think is respected wholeheartedly, not just throughout the club, but I think throughout Europe and the world. I really believe that. I think James realizes that, and I think he respects him and probably will go to him and ask him for advice occasionally because of the experience factor.
And I'm quite sure, here's the thing, what the giveaway that the manager considered both was the premier edition of the Premier League competition, or preseason competition, was called again, that we won. James and Thiago Silva both were handed the trophy. They lifted the trophy together, and I'm quite sure that's a chance. Silva had the opportunity, but said no, give it to James, and they have a good relationship. And I remember James saying during an interview that when asked who's been the most influential to him, what, for lack of a better way to phrase that, at Chelsea, he mentioned Thiago Silva. Yeah, that he's had conversation with him. He's told him what he's been doing right, what he needs to improve, and he likes that. So that he's taking him under his wings. I've forgotten the term he used, but that just shows you Silva is the sort of guy that wants to just give it to James. In my opinion, he's not even vice captain. That shows you that may well be the case. I get it. Some people are analyzing the situation and saying because he's not going to be playing that much. I don't think that's the case. Even the fact that eventually as a vice captain shows you that Silva probably said, you know what, just give it to these kids. Let me help them learn how to do it. And he's staying because he leads again as he doesn't need the armband to lead. We're keeping him because of his experience, because we need him in the team, if that makes sense. Let me know if did we actually Divine Murubi asking Murabai or Murubi asking, did we actually get Adams? Yeah, the deal is done and dusted. Keyshawn, you want to come in with anything before we move on?
Hey, Keyshawn.
Big up, everyone.
Big up to you, brother. I hope you're doing well.
I'm good. I'm all right. Nothing I really want to add to it. Everyone said everything for the most part.
Oh, so you agree with everything we said? Wow.
I didn't say all that, but
much love to you too, brother. If you have anything, if you want to come in anytime, just let me know. People are blaming the Newcastle midfielder, comparing the Newcastle midfielder to Pirlo, but that guy is completely different. I'd argue that you're talking about Tonelli. I think he's different, correct? and it's unfair. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. Gabriel A, nice to see you. No point in letting Kepa go unless loan with an obligation. I agree with you. To sign up, buy, and otherwise next season we will have a 4 keepers: Sanchez, Kepa, replacement Slonina, and Kepa, and lose even more value on Kepa Arrizabalaga. Yeah, I don't think we agree with an option. I think it has to be with an obligation. If they're saying with an option, which means they don't really trust him, they're just seeing him as a stopgap to fix a solution right now for them, then let that tell us we're not really interested in signing him. We've seen that happen before, and I think we've learned the valuable lesson. I know my owner's my owner, he's a businessman and will definitely get Caicedo because something happened to Enzo, and now he's here. I think we get that deal over the line. Let's see what else we have here. Moises Caicedo has made his mind up on joining Chelsea, despite Liverpool's interest, according to Football.London. Even Fabrizio Romano did say that's been like that for a while now, even when Arsenal went in with a beat. So that may well have been the reason why Arsenal pulled out and had to go for what's his name? Had to go for Declan Rice. What else do we have here? Okay, YouTube user. Okay, that's an interesting name. I appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. Gabriel, it's been a super pro. You can argue that. I saw Madrid is also considering coming for Kepa Arrizabalaga. I don't think so. I think they will end up going for David De Gea, who's a free agent also. Let's see. Roger, we should have got Hugo Vettel instead of Enzo. He's complete like Barilla. I love Barilla, but I still like Enzo. But they're two different profile players. To be honest, if Madrid were actually smart, they'd go for Diogo Costa. Maybe they'll end up doing that. Letters on slow, but they have a free agent to sign, who is, if you argue, will end up being equally good. Letters on slow sports news. Bayern have entered the race for Caicedo. Bayern pulled out 10,000 years ago, and I'm sure they're not interested. Let's see what else we have. They keep dropping the likes on the stream. People, the likes to go along with. Chelsea have agreed deal £90 million according to the Telegram. It's everywhere, really. Need to stop calling him again. Yeah, call him Enzo. You think we should be calling him Penzo? For what reason? Okay.
He doesn't rate him.
Yeah, Liverpool now expect Caicedo to join Chelsea after making contact with Brighton, according to The Athletic. Yeah, everybody that comes finds out that the player is, again, preferred destination will be Chelsea Football Club, and they all have pulled out. It's laughable Liverpool making a due diligence beat later for that. You can argue. I think it's just all nonsense out there, really. I don't believe any of them, and I've told you that before. Is Lukaku still part of the squad? Nope, he's not. You should go to the club's website. You'll see his name isn't even that there. So we move on. This item in particular here says Conor Gallagher is open to staying at Chelsea, but he continues to be offered at rival clubs. West Ham had an offer of 40 million bid rejected. That shows we don't want to sell him. Last month, while Tottenham are also monitoring his situation, I think people are just making up nonsense. It doesn't look like we're interested in selling Gallagher, because if we're interested in selling him, he'd be gone by now. That is just that's how I see it, in my opinion. And I wouldn't mind having him in the squad. His commitment whenever he's on the pitch, you say he brings something different. And I believe he'll become an even better player under Mauricio Pochettino, but that's not just my opinion. If you're on the panel, if you want to add to that, you go ahead, you have the floor.
Yeah, just briefly, Coach.
Yeah, I think you're right, Coach, for sure. For sure. He's not going anywhere. Poch likes him. It doesn't make any practical sense unless we get some very, very, very particular player. He stays. He adds to our ability to win games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. If we wanted to seriously sell him, I thought 40 million would have been enough by today's market price. I thought when we rejected the 40 million, I'm thinking, how serious are they about selling him? To me, listen, I don't believe
and that was Poch himself that rejected that. He said no.
Because I believe he's similar to Mount. I believe he fits Poch's profile of a midfielder with what he wishes to do with him. I think
Say what you like about Gallagher, he gets you goals. I'm going to say I'm not his biggest fan, and I'm sure you know that. And you've always been trying to analyze how I talk about him. I don't want to get to the point where I say he's a bad player. I always tell you there's a good player in him, he can get better. But go ahead, Richard.
Yes. Yeah, no. Listen, in my opinion, I believe you've seen a marked improvement from him, especially on the ball this pre-season. The way he receives the ball, the way he turns, his head is always on a swivel. His ability to do one touch passing or two touch passing, he looks like a different player. True, it's only pre-season and it's a very small sampling size, but you can tell he's somewhat different, and it's quite noticeable, and an improvement, by the way. He hasn't regret. So I believe, I'm sure that if Poch wanted him gone,
are you there, Richard?
I believe they would have sold him for 40 million if Poch did indeed want him gone. Yeah,
you could argue we find ourselves in a situation where if we have to sell him, we have to get something sizable. It's not going to go for cheap.
Yeah, no. For instance, hypothetically, if we get Caicedo and Lavia, just hypothetically, and Adams, then I think we probably sell him. We would have to for financial reasons.
Yeah, exactly. But we may have to. Again, here's another thing. If you sell him, you have to make up the homegrown quota with a less experienced player. A lot of people ain't thinking to that extent. They just stop by just sell Gallagher. It doesn't occur to you that if you sell Gallagher, you need to make up the homegrown quota with a less experienced player. But that's beyond my argument. I don't know, Kishan, you have anything to add to that? I'm quite sure you have a lot to say. If that's the case, you go ahead. You have the floor.
I think they just value Gallagher higher than what they're getting offered. I think they would probably. I think they would probably sell him for like 50.
Yeah, you would think so, right?
Yeah, around there. But shoot, I mean, didn't they say he was like surplus to requirements or something like that?
I think those things are all reports, made up reports. It's absolute nonsense. People just you can say feeding off of our vulnerability as fans, or you can say feeding off of what they know were urgent. They know we're eager to consume content with regards to Chelsea transfer activities and all that. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, actually, I see a lot of that, like a lot of fake news out here. Like a lot of people claiming they're journalists when all they have is a Twitter account. Like, it's crazy. And people actually like believe everything that's being said.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, with Gallagher, if Potts wants to keep him, then if he sees something in him that he could use him for, then I go for it. More power to you. But I just don't see what he could do right now for us.
I'm actually shocked though, because had you told me a month to 2 months ago that we would have turned down a £40 million sale for Gallagher, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have said we would have accepted it. Yeah,
but that shows you they value him. They want to keep him. And he's not pushing to leave. That's another point we have to be at the back of our mind. So the club would not just decide, okay, we want you to leave. I don't think so. It'd be difficult. But like you said, maybe if we sign all those players, maybe he ends up leaving. But think about this. If we let him go, we have to accommodate a less experienced player in the squad to make up the numbers. So I'd rather we keep him, not because I think he's Ronaldo, because I know there's a good player in here and probably will become an even better player under Mauricio Pochettino. But that's just my opinion before anybody in the chat shoots me. Let's see what else we have lined up here. The next item, I think we're getting closer and closer to the end of it. And thank you for 122 likes. You people are absolute legends. Let's get it to 200 likes as soon as possible. And let's see what else we have lined up here to talk about in a bit. But I have to try and catch up with some of the conversations, some of the contributions in the chat there. And Panda says, imagine if Poch fixes up Gallagher. Dumbledore reincarnated. I just don't get the reasoning why people call Enzo Penzo. Coach, honestly, it's weird. I don't know, but I'm going to start pronouncing that. Coach, I want to debate Roger on Enzo whenever possible. I am ready to debate the whole panel. We'll do that. We'll find time to do that. Enzo isn't good as a DM, and we haven't actually played him as a DM. We played him in a double pivot always, and I think maybe we may have under Frank Lampard But yeah, let's see what happens there. Just allow people their opinions. You can give yours. I think I agree with that. Gallagher is more versatile than Mount, and that's insane because Mount played everywhere. Yeah, and to me, Coach Gallagher is future Chelsea captain. If Reece James or Chilwell gets injured or rested, Gallagher will lead the Gladiators to war if he's still at Chelsea. Please, Coach, stop talking about other clubs. A signed deal. It's a Chelsea perspective, but sometimes you can deviate a bit. I think you're allowed sometimes, but when you do that, so that what's the term I'm looking for? Excessively, then it becomes an issue. This is Chelsea perspective, and our focus should be on Chelsea. Coach, please wants to suggest something. Why wouldn't they sell Correa and bring in a more experienced left back to compete with Ben Chilwell? Because Correa is too harsh and always losing balls to opponent. I'm not too sure. It's not up to me, but do I think we're looking for players for that position? I'm not too sure. Gary Neville slams Liverpool owners are not coming for Caicedo. That shows the level of fight Chelsea have on their hands. Ex-United player fighting for all the clubs against Chelsea. Yeah, just want us to not to do well. Honestly, all social media are full of waffle. Yeah, you have to be sensible. Recognize that you have to dissect and analyze information that you consume to come to a sensible conclusion, not just to suck up everything you see out there. You will live long if you start doing that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. But let's see if there's anything else to address. People are having conversations there. And Chelsea always says, if our goalkeeping department, defense, and midfield is solid, we have a good chance of doing well this season. Let's see. All we want is Caicedo. Yeah, I've seen that. That video, it's hilarious. Nigerian man there. Chelsea might miss out on Caicedo. I don't think so. I think we'll get that deal across the line. Ines Gyamfi, I hope you're doing well. Man's thinking pace is a vital factor to being world class. Let's see what else we have lined up here. We'll keep going. We've talked about this. I don't think we need to dwell on that too much. Let's see the next item we have lined up. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 127 likes. I appreciate you all. Let's get the likes up. Let's get it to 200 as soon as possible. But I don't think we can because we don't have too much time left. Looking likely to join Swansea on loan in, talks all advanced. Not a bad idea. He's still young. Chances are, if he decides to stay, he will not get too much game time. So I'm all for him living alone. I get it. He looked mature beyond his age during the preseason. Ice cold on the ball, doesn't budge under pressure, finds time and does something nice with the ball whenever, and he finds solutions in tight spaces too. But yeah, I get it. There's that temptation from the fan base calling for the club to keep him, that he's good enough. But if you look at all other options we have, he will be, you can say, the last in the pecking order, which means he's not going to play that much, and that in turn will be detrimental to his development. So I don't want to see that out of selfishness happen. I don't know if anybody else has anything to add to that, or should we move on? Up to you. All right. It doesn't look like anybody has anything else to say. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. Are convinced of Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga's quality and character. Here's the thing. Even if Kepa ends up agreeing to go to Bayern, I think it would take some convincing from Thomas Tuchel to convince him to agree to go to Bayern, because of, you can say, the relationship between the two men isn't that rosy. Roger, what do you make of my argument?
I kind of disagree.
Okay.
I think that what's his name? That Tuchel is pragmatic, and I think he realizes, that Kepa is an improved player from where he was 2 years ago. I really do. I'm not sure about
that's a strong argument, really. A suggestion.
Yeah, it is, because there was a reason why he was benched. It was warranted, and you can see now that whether you like him or not, he is a better player than he was when Mendy arrived. It's that simple. And listen, it's hard to believe about these reports. It really is. This is the silly season after all, and the season is just beginning. It's the penultimate night, so it's anything goes, I guess. And Chelsea, as Bobby said, for some reason or another, we seem to be linked with everything and anything currently. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is indeed, but let's see what happens there. I have a feeling Chelsea might miss out on Caicedo. I don't think that will be the case, but again, it is my opinion. I have to be honest with that. What else do we have? Anything else to address? Football IQ and talent over anything, and the other thing. And that's how I do too. That's how I like my players. Intelligence first of all. That does go along with for players. And you can say that's the reason why Thiago Silva still plays. And when you see him on the pitch, you're thinking that he's in his 20s, not knowing mine is approaching 40. But that's why we keep dropping the likes on the stream. Up Chelsea indeed. And Roger doing a better goalkeeping of Kepa that Kepa does for Chelsea. I'm not sure I understand that Supreme Court. That's a bit mixed up. To compete with City, our bench has to be as skilled as our starters. Yeah, that's why we don't use the term backup here. I'd rather we say competition, get competition for a certain player A, B, C. Until that happens, we ain't sniffing a whiff of title of that title anytime soon. So I agree with you. We should always go. I think we're doing that now. We're not signing starters and backup. We're signing for each position at least 2 competing players. If Liverpool, City, United, Arsenal wins something, they do so with just a normal effort. But Chelsea, we needed to make a double or triple effort to win. Why I want us to be strong in all aspects. I think I agree with you. Let's see what else we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And if you haven't, please be sure to subscribe. I appreciate you all for your patience. We had a shaky start to the show today, but beyond that, I think it's been an excellent show. We back to the man of the most talked about the transfer this window. Listen, from a Chelsea perspective, Roger, the outrageous opinion specialist. Wow, that is some love there for you, Roger.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. But I'm glad you don't take it personal. This says Moises Caicedo only had his mind on Chelsea this summer. He didn't play on Sunday, and this was not due to injury. And Fabrizio Romano confirms that Brighton tried to play it down by the Brighton director coming out and saying he missed the friendly against Rayo Vallecano because he was nursing a slight injury. And we knew then, we looked at it and said that's absolute horse doo-doo. And now he's missed training. He's on strike, literally, you could say. You could say now they don't have option than to sell him. Because if they keep him, I don't know. It wouldn't make any sort of sense. But what do you think, Roger?
Who is this?
Moises Caicedo. This is saying he's always has his mind on Chelsea this summer. He didn't play on Sunday, and it was not due to injury. But Brighton tried to play it down, saying he missed the friendly against Rayo Vallecano due to injury, but that wasn't the case. His camp responded about 30 minutes after that report on Brighton's website to say he's not injured, he just doesn't want to play. He wants to leave. If you want to go into how much of a difference you think that makes, the fact that he's pushing, I know he's not gonna. You can say he hasn't put in a transfer request. Maybe he has, or maybe he's just showing them. I'm getting to that point where I'll hand in the transfer request. But let's talk about this once more. How much of a difference does he make, given the fact that he's pressuring them? He's showing them, I don't want to be here anymore by going AWOL. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a huge factor. I really do. Had he not put up a stink per se, I don't think. I think this puts pressure on them because they don't want a dissatisfied player coming into camp. They know that he has even though he signed a contract recently, that he's intent on moving, and so. And not is he intent on moving, but he's intent on moving to a specific team, namely Chelsea. And so this puts pressure on them to sell. This really does. Now, they don't have to. Don't forget, it takes 3 parties for a successful transaction. But I believe that the pressure is on them to sell to a certain extent. It really is. Not entirely.
Would you say that's down to the fact now, if you look at the situation, they bear the most risk?
No, not really. Yes and no. I get what you're saying, but listen, the fact that he signed and renewed his contract recently, they can, for all intents and purposes, say, no, you signed a contract. We intend for you to honor it. And that's it. End of story. The chances are, because of the fact that he will get fined heavily.
What's the risk to that? What's the risk to keeping him, even though he's shown he wants to leave? He's gone AWOL.
Because he can't afford. He comes from a very large family. They know this, that he financially.
That's the first part. That was the January aspect of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, this is a huge aspect, Coach.
Yeah, so I want to understand. Help us understand the risk to Brighton deciding to keep him right now beyond this window. Decide not to sell him to Chelsea and say, even again, he's gone AWOL. He refused to play against Rayo Vallecano. He's refused to train, and he's responded again, putting out responses to Brighton's stance through his.
Then they can fine him. They can fine him to the point where, because they know that he supports a very large, family, immediate family, however you want, or extended family, however you want to term it, they know that they're dependent upon him. He didn't come from an affluent family where he doesn't have responsibilities. They know he does. So they've got him by the short and curlies. So they can say, okay, you don't want to come to work? You're not going to get paid. We're going to fine you heavily. Or to the point where it actually, you don't have any income. And guess what? Over time, the pressure will mount and he will return, just like Kane. Even though Kane wasn't in the same circumstance, it's like you eventually have to honor your contract. So if they really want to play hardball, they can. Can it be disruptive to the rest of the team? Probably. It all depends on his personality traits also. Is he the type of person to be like a Lukaku, or is he not? I don't know. I can't comment on that.
Here's why I say he's not the sort of person that gets bent out of shape if they end up keeping him against his wish. Because last season we thought that was going to be the case. He emerged as their best player. Whether they did that intentionally just to be sure they get a sizable fee from his sell, or maybe he truly was their best player back that season, I don't know. Because remember, we all thought he was going to be a problem for them, and he did so well, even beyond the fact, looking beyond the fact that they crowned him their best player of the season. We did see that he was brilliant for them throughout the course of the season. But that aspect, fine. But this time may well be different. I don't know. But Roger, you go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, no, listen. It's hard, Brighton have a reputation for playing hardball, and he's a very young man. He's 21, I believe, and you know what? I think they know they can manipulate him to a certain extent. It all depends on what he's willing to do, or what his personality is, what traits he has. Listen, they're not an easy team to negotiate with. And the fact that they already said that we're willing to sell you for a reasonable amount, but yet have reneged on that for all intents and purposes. So this shows you that what their intention is. As I said, I wouldn't be surprised if indeed we don't get him. I'm not saying we won't, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised because of their MO. It's that simple. Brighton they're hard to do business with. They stick to their guns, whether it's correct or otherwise. So, listen, I hope it gets done. Obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan, but as I said, I wouldn't be surprised.
And if we're to believe the rumors that Mohamed Kudus has refused to put pen to paper for them to go through, even though he's not a great person at times with them, to go through with the deal, except if they have insert a buyout clause under the contract that he's going to sign for them. You could say no matter how you see it, the Moises Caicedo situation creates a whole lot of problems for them. I don't know. the players within their ranks would be stupid to sign contract without having a buyout clause. I don't, except if they're not paying attention to what's happening. I don't know if you get my what I'm trying to say there, Roger.
Yeah,
all
no,
the players at Brighton, it would be difficult for any of them to agree to sign a new contract without having a buyout clause in it, because they'll be paying attention to what's going on. It's just like when the trend of Chelsea academic graduates leaving, refusing to sign a new contract and forcing the club to sell them. That has been happening for a while now.
Right, look at Kudos, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because of what's happening, I'm just saying, referencing the Chelsea situation. Once that a trend starts, it goes upwards. You have to change to adapt to the new trend. Because the academy, for instance, Chelsea academy players learned it's either you have you run down your contract, have about 2 years, and refuse to put pen to paper, force them to sell you, or you keep going out on loan back and forth, and probably end up ruining your career. So they've learned that to run down their contract. Some of them have left as free agents. A few of them, for instance, Musiala left as a free agent. Correct me if I'm wrong. And what a talent he is. There are others. Livramento ran down his contract to about a year or two and said, "No, I'm not signing a new one. I want to leave." Tariq Lamptey and all of them. So that my point is, given the Moises Caicedo conundrum or drama, players at Brighton will be looking at the situation and going, "Okay." And once they go to them and say, "We want you to sign a new contract," they say, "Yeah, I'm willing to do that as long as we have a buyout clause." So they've created a problem for themselves. Even if he ends up staying and playing well for them, that aspect, I think, the agents of their other players at the club at Brighton will be stupid not to be paying attention to what's going on there. And Mohamed Kudus being a prime example for to believe the fact that he's refused to put pen to paper for a new contract. Then yeah, people are learning. People are going to find a way. Even agents will find a way. You say, be cautious about dealing with Brighton. I don't know if you have anything else to add with that or to that, or should I move on?
No, that's fine, sir. That's fine. I think you get my gist, though.
Oh yeah, in so many ways. But I like doing tapping to you. I do, but thank
duly
you.
Noted, sir. Duly noted.
They call me a tapping merchant according to the Bluetooth game. Liverpool have not made a bid for Caicedo, athletic sources, and I did say that during when the show started, that I'm seeing multiple reports, and one of them says that they have not. He's not been training with the full squad yet either, even if it's available. I think it's become toxic from Brighton's perspective. I don't think it'd be okay for him to be training with that. How many of the panelists I think Sanchez starts this game against Liverpool? Kepa is in negotiations. If Kepa is truly in negotiations, then Sanchez will start. Let's ask the chairman of the Goalkeepers Union. Roger, over to you. What do you think happens?
For whom? Who are you talking about?
If Sanchez is in fact in negotiations with Brighton, automatically, if Kepa is in fact in negotiations with Bayern, automatically Sanchez starts against Liverpool. That's how I see it. That's what not automatically. That's what I believe will happen. But how about you?
I mean, it all depends whether is he physically able to play? Is he fit enough? Mm-hmm. You know, if he's got any knocks, then he wouldn't be able to play. So, assuming he is fit and he can play physically, okay, mm-hmm. He's just arrived. You know, it depends on how many training sessions he's had, etc. Yes, mm-hmm. Could he? If hypothetically, midnight tonight we sell Kepa, loan him out, however you want to term it, mm-hmm. Then we have no option. But we're placing ourselves very thinly, because if he goes down, then you've got Bettinelli. So you might as well put me or Bobby in goal. No disrespect, Bobby, but you know, here's the deal. I don't believe that will transpire. I think at the very least, Chelsea won't sell him till at least after the Liverpool game, if at all, until they get a replacement. I think that would be irresponsible.
It's a huge risk. Just give me a second. I'm going to take care of something here. And every time, for those of the panelists that provided me their credentials, whenever you check, you'd see their information in the description section of the video. I've added Rogers. I don't have Keyshawn's. I don't have Bobby's. Yes, I had one for Bobby before. but I think I need a new one. I need one from you, Keishan. I'll show you an example so that whenever you're on the panel, I can add your information there. I think it's just I and Roger right now. Dragging this out only hurts Brighton, to be honest. It's harder to find a replacement. Yeah, and again, the whole thing has been prolonged due to their hard stance. And Owasi Kuwait, it's nice to see you. Liverpool is trying to rush Chelsea to sign Caicedo so they can have the time to negotiate the Lavia deal. You can see it from multiple angles. Some are saying we're the ones that are trying them out. When Roger drives his car from the lot, its price increases in value.
Wow.
Yeah, why indeed? I'm sure you understand what he's trying to say there.
Yeah.
Caicedo putting his foot down is really good for us, honestly. Yeah, he's doing his beat now.
Yeah,
and I'm glad we didn't rush to.
It's important. It's important. If he doesn't do that, then we have little ground to stand on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do agree with you. So he's doing well for us. He's said since last year he wants to leave. So keeping him for this long is plain and simple stupidity and could end up causing problems for them. When Roger met the Pope is wow. Okay, I'm not going to reach other ones there. Brighton is a shocking club. We'll sell them players for peanuts. We loan them players, then they tap them up. We overpay for their players, yet they have no self-awareness. It's disgraceful. I don't take it personal, honestly, it's business. I honestly think Kudus is waiting for Chelsea. Maybe. And I'd like us to sign Caicedo and still sign Kudus. The Caicedo negotiations will teach a lesson to most players not to trust small clubs like Brighton, who are just eager to make money off of them. I agree with you. Something to learn from them. And the God of Frogs, I appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. Chelsea is just a comedy house right now. Wow, that's how you see it. Coach, did you know Roger once thought, oh my, come on, stop. Let's see. The Caicedo situation is scary. Kudus to sign who? Kudus to sign for Brighton. Maybe it may well still happen. And go and follow Roger. Here's the link to his Twitter account. Go follow him. He should have at least 1,000 followers, but he keeps growing. And Brighton hurts themselves with the Caicedo saga. Every player they approach now wants a release clause in the contract. Kudus agent is insisting on a release clause. That's what I'm saying. These two people not to be paying attention to that. But let's move on to the next item and the last item we have lined up here. Indicated that Moises Caicedo is still expected to join Chelsea. To me, that's the last item we have. Roger, anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day?
No, it's going to be an interesting 24 to 72 hours, isn't it? It's listen, the season opens tomorrow, and no matter who we acquire from now to our game against Liverpool, I don't believe any of these players will start or even come on as subs unless we are that thin. So I think the coaching staff and the players need to work on the players available and that are, shall we say, bedded in as to what the coaching staff requires of them and the tactics, etc. But going forward, we it's imperative that we get Caicedo, as Bobby has stated before. I think that is imperative. And Adams is obviously on his way, so that's great. The other question
is he on the train or a bus? I thought he said, "Here we go."
But the other question is about going forward. It's how well can Broja back up Jackson? And how soon? These are my only queries. And as for the goalkeeper thing, I'm not biting on that bait. I really am not until I see otherwise.
You don't think he goes to Bayern?
Listen, this is the silly season. It's hard to believe anything right now. There's so much fake news right now. It's hard to discern what is real from fake. So until I see it from a credible source, then I just basically dismiss it.
Yeah, but thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Let's see what else we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have to round up. Let me just catch up with a few items that's you can say that's just been added to chat there. Brighton, I think I've read that one. And Wally Walder here said the Caicedo saga has lasted so long for us to back away now, but I don't think we'll back away. I think we've been there, as I've always said, because we're getting positive signals from the players' camp, and if from Brighton also. They want to sell, but nobody knows what's been going on behind the scenes, really, for being honest. So with that, we've come to the end of the conclusion. Let me read this. I think the future of players and clubs is that players will want to insert the release clauses before they sign contracts to avoid all this disaster. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Take care all, and Godfrog's the sausage last night. Okay, I appreciate you all, and he's talking about their stream last night. And please don't forget to drop a like on the stream, people. I appreciate you all. Constantine Dan, always nice to see you. Much love to you. And Mitchell Boy, please do share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. And Chelsea Blue Coach Americans really love a Hollywood story. I'm feeling like I am watching the movie with plot twists all over. Yeah, Americans do love a Hollywood story. And Haku Naku, Naku, so to speak. I appreciate you joining, brother. Chelsea all the way. My bro, Wally Waldo, much love to you. And Nuski, I appreciate you. And Koetis, Panda, all of you, much love to you. Adebayo Makunju, much love to you, brother. Chelsea is just a comedy house right now. Adebayo, much love to you. I love you so much, brother. I hope you're doing well. And all of you, if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. And Chelsea all the way, you too. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Thanks, Coach.
More thanks to you, brother.